Wearing number 45, Thomas Room. Wearing number 24, and the Somerset captain, it's Lewis Gregory. Number 54, Ben Green. Number 7, Craig Overton. Number 44, Lewis Goldsworthy. Number 21, Matt Henry. And wearing number 12, Riley Meredith. Okay, Sharks fans, your first opportunity to get behind the team. Make some noise for your Sussex Sharks 11 tonight. Number 89, Dan Hughes. Number 35, Harrison Ward. Number 9, and the Sharks keeper, John Simpson. Number 30, James Coles. Wearing number 45, Tom Walsall. Number 27, Tom Clark. Number 16, Jack Carson. Wearing number 43, Nathan McAndrew. Number 25, Ollie Robinson. Number 7, and the Sharks captain, Jamal Mills. And wearing number 12, Brad Curry. So there we go, the two teams all set, ready for our 7 o'clock start. Somerset have won the toss, and they will be bowling first, which means in just a few minutes' time, we'll be welcoming the Sussex Sharks batters for tonight's Vitality Blast match.
weak website? It could be a superstar. We do A/B testing, personalisation, social proof, product recommendations, baseline analysis to bring your bottom line over the line. Visit webtrends-optimise.com or call 0333 444 5502 today.
For the best half-time entertainment in cricket. So time to take your seats ahead of tonight's match. And talking of your seats, why not celebrate your matchday moments with our Sussex Sharks sparkling wine producer Roebuck Estates. If you are sitting in the sparkling seat, you will win a bottle of Roebuck Estates to take home. Just have a check under your seat, and the special sticker is there. You have won a bottle of Roebuck Estates sparkling wine. Just enter the ticket office and play yours.
Well, a very good evening to you, wherever you're listening to us or watching us. It's live T20 Blast cricket, Sussex Sharks against Somerset. Two sides in 100% form at the start of this campaign. And it's going to be an exciting game. I'm going to get some. I'm going to get my voice back through the laptop of my co-commentator. I think, is it, or is it me? I don't know.
It was me, but
anyway, that's the voice of Anthony Gibson. We'll get there in a minute. Right, Anthony Gibson from BBC Radio Somerset. I'm Andrew Rayburn, BBC Radio Sussex. We've sorted out our audio issues here in the commentary box. Anthony, good evening to you. How are you?
I'm fine. Usual 4-hour drive up from Somerset, up the M27, which is all roadworks, and the A27, which is all roundabouts. But got here satisfactory. It's very, very windy in Brighton this evening, with the wind coming from the southwest, and it is quite blustery. It's not quite as windy here on the ground as it is on the seafront, but it's certainly going to be a factor, the wind. And well, Somerset have won the toss and elected to field, which is what they always do, or vast majority of occasions do when they win the toss, and they have won their last 5 games, 3 in the county championship and 2 in the Blast so far, chasing down targets. So from that perspective, it's a good start. It
is, yeah. So perhaps first blood drawn by Somerset, the visitors, then this evening. I'm going to take you through the team news. If you're familiar with what's been happening over the last couple of games, it's going to be very simple because both teams are unchanged. But I shall take you through the Sussex lineup and then give you, Anthony, the chance to go through the Somerset team. The Sussex side then, who will be batting first: Harrison Ward, Daniel Hughes opening the batting, John Simpson, James Coles, Tom Alsop, Tom Clark, Jack Carson, Nathan McAndrew, Ollie Robinson, Tamal Mills the captain, and Brad Curry.
And Somerset will bat Will Smead, Tom Lammonby, Tom Kohler-Cadmore, Tom Abel, Thomas Rue, Lewis Gregory, Ben Green, Craig Overton, Lewis Goldsworthy, Matt Henry and Riley Meredith, which means that for Somerset there is no Tom Banton, who's with the England white ball setup. There's no James Rue, who's captaining the England Lions against India A as today. And there's no Sean Dixon, who broke his finger in 2 places in the championship game against Surrey at the Oval. And just so happens that those 3 were the 3 top batsmen in the T20 averages last season. So they are a big miss, but this is still a pretty strong Somerset side.
Indeed, and both teams with 2 wins from their first 2 games, with Sussex beating Middlesex, of course, at Lords by 16 runs. James Coles made 77 not out on that occasion. Ollie Robinson took 3 for 27, and they followed that up with a fantastic win over Gloucestershire, the reigning champions, bowling them out for 93. Tim Al Mills with the best figures of 3 for 13 in that one. Tom Alsop chipped in with a half century as well for Sussex. The 2 teams just coming out.
Yeah, Somerset in their fuchsia fielding kit, which is almost exactly the same shade of purpley pink as the umpires are
yes,
wearing.
That could be
very confusing.
It really
the umpires,
is, actually.
Nigel Long at this end, the C end, and it's Mark Newell, formerly of Sussex, at the Cromwell Road end.
Yes, you wouldn't tolerate that in football, would you, with the same colours like that? But Somerset, of course, have won 2 out of 2, beating Surrey by 5 wickets, and then following that up with victory by 8 wickets over Essex. Will Smead setting the platform for those run chases with 35 and 81 not out. That 81 off of 54 balls.
But those games were really won in the middle overs, because both Surrey and Essex were going well at around about 120 for 3, and then were bowled out in both cases for 146 Surrey and just 148 Essex, so which is a tribute, I think, to the strength of this Somerset bowling attack.
So then they'll see how the Somerset bowling attack goes against this Sussex top order. We're about to start. The countdown is on the big screens, and the crowd wait as in comes the first ball, and Hughes gets a bottom edge onto that. In fact, Harrison Ward has got the bottom edge onto that, and he's going to get the first boundary rather fortunately off of Overton.
Crowd still streaming in here at Hove, and there are plenty of empty seats at the moment. They've left it rather late. With half an hour to go, there's hardly anyone on the ground.
I was going to say, it's the streaming in might be generous, actually, but actually the stand towards the C end, if you like, by us, has filled up nicely actually since I last looked, as Overton comes in again and bowls to Ward, and Ward tries a heave and misses and goes through to the wicket keeper, so no run there. Harrison Ward just 6 against Middlesex, only 1 against Gloucestershire. That bottom edge for 4, his first boundary in those 2 and a bit innings so far.
Is this the same pitch that they used against Gloucestershire?
Not sure,
Sunday?
actually. Not sure. I wasn't actually at that one as Overton comes in. And this one's cut away by Ward. That's a more confident shot and convincing shot. He's only going to get a single for it, though. It's cut off by the man out at deep point. So single for Ward moves him onto 5. Sussex onto 5 without loss halfway through the first over.
Yeah, they don't look as if they're going to hang around, these 2 Sussex openers.
Daniel Hughes, 38 against Middlesex, 34 against Gloucestershire. Both of those coming in relatively short order. He's got 72 from 39 all told in the blast so far this season. He's facing Overton, who comes in, and it's flicked down towards deep backward square leg for a single. It was upish. And briefly, I did confuse the square leg umpire with the Somerset fielder, which is probably going to happen, although, of course, the umpire has a cap on. But, mind you, so do a couple of Somerset fielders, to be fair.
Yes.
So it's going to be interesting.
Must be slightly confusing for the players as well, the fielders.
Yeah. But I'm sure they'll cope. as Overton comes in again and bowls, and this time Ward is more watchful, plays that out into the offside. There's no run there. The Sussex flag above the scoreboard is fluttering, well, almost randomly really. It's and is quite furiously fluttering as well. So yes, as you said, Anthony, the wind will be a factor. So from the Cromwell Road end of the ground, Overton comes in and bowls, and then Ward goes down the pitch and launches one. He doesn't quite get all of it, so it's plugged a little bit, and he's going to pick up a couple of runs at the end of this first over, which has brought about 8 for the Sharks.
Yeah, 8 pretty streaky runs, I think it'd be fair to say.
Yeah, and it tends to be the way in cricket that the most convincing shot only brought 1.
Yeah, it certainly was, that shot through the offside. So we're going to have Matt Henry to open up from the C end. Matt Henry, New Zealand international, of course, and leading wicket taker for Somerset in the Blast so far this season in just the 2 games. He's going to have the wind coming over his left shoulder. Bowling to Daniel Hughes. No slip for Matt Henry. We had a slip in for Craig Overton. Here comes Henry then. He's there and bowls, and this comes off the inside edge, fielded by the bowler himself in his follow through. Lots of empty seats, blue seats in the temporary stands at the far end of the ground, with the flats behind them and the rather older houses that we can see in the Cromwell Road.
And the gathering seagulls as well, with all the food outlets around for T20 nights.
There's Henry and bowls to Hughes, and this is lofted away through the offside. That'll be 4 runs. That's the first authentic boundary of the innings. It was in the air for quite a long time, but nowhere near any of the fielders. We've got Lewis Gregory at extra cover and Tom Abel at mid-off, and it bisected the pair of them. 12 without loss in the second over.
Yeah, cracking shot that one. Again, as you said, Anthony, aerial, but paid off.
Henry to Hughes. This is on leg stump, turned down to long leg, and Will Smead will keep them down to just a single. Matt Henry's T20 career. This is his 155th game of T20 cricket, and he has taken 182 wickets at 23.4 with an economy rate of 8.3. And he has, of course, played 30 tests and 91 one-day internationals for New Zealand. So vastly experienced. He's in bowls to McCann. And brilliant stop by Tom Abel. Half stop. He's parried it. He's saved 3 runs there for his side, as Harrison Ward smashed that down the ground and must have thought he'd got 4 runs. Tom Abel away across to his left, dived, parried it left-handed. Craig Overton completes the fielding, 14 without loss in the second over.
Briefly, I wondered whether there was a chance of a catch for Abel actually, but it wasn't going to quite carry to him. So yeah, great stop in the end.
Henry to Hughes. This is driven, but there won't be a run here as Abel fields. Tom Kohler-Cadmore keeping wicket for Somerset in the absence of James Rew. Preferred to James Rew's younger brother Thomas, who's in the side for his 3rd game of senior cricket for Somerset, only 17 years old. He's there at mid-wicket. Henry to Hughes, turned into the onside. There should just be the single here, as Smead is very quickly across the outfield down at long leg. That's the end of the second over. 15 without loss, so 8 off the first over, 7 off the second over. Well, everything going much as one might expect so far.
Yes, indeed, and Sussex will be relatively pleased with a solid start. Harrison Ward in his 41st T20 match. Daniel Hughes a bit more experienced at this format, 126th T20 match. So Overton in again, over the wicket and bowls, and Hughes cuts that away again to the boundary rider at deep backward point, and they're going to take a single. Moves the Sussex Sharks onto 16 without loss.
Riley Meredith warming up in front of us. Looks like he might have the fourth over.
Harrison Ward just scratches at his mark. Overton is at the top of his, and he comes running in now underneath all the squawking seagulls and bowls, and just prodded forward by Ward in defence, no run. Harrison Ward's top scorer in T20 cricket, 68. Now he's ready to face again as Overton into his second over bowls, and he's whipped that away towards deep backward square leg. It's half stopped and then gathered in again. Good fielding out on the boundary there.
Tom Lammonby.
And Lammonby prevents anything more than just a single to Ward, who moves on to 9 from 8, and Sussex on to 17 without loss.
Ball looks to be coming nicely onto the bat. A little bit of grass on this pitch. Looks like a good batting wicket.
Here comes Overton, bowls, and he's caught behind. He's caught behind his Hughes. That's a big wicket, that, for Somerset. He's disappointed, the Australian. The New South Walian has to go back. Caught behind. Big wicket, that one. Overton strikes. Sussex 17 for 1.
Yeah, chasing a wide one, really. And a good low catch by Tom Kohler-Cadmore. And that's a big wicket, because he's been in very good form, Daniel Hughes, and has a very good record in T20 cricket as well. So, good start for Somerset.
Well, as you quite rightly said, Anthony, at the very top, they are a excellent bowling attack, very experienced. And Craig Overton went wicketless, I think, against Surrey, but
yeah, he bowled pretty well then.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't there, but by all accounts, he bowled very well. And again, it was a group bowling performance.
Took a wicket against Essex, and he's back on the scorecard again tonight. You're listening to live T20 Blast Cricket on the BBC Sport website, BBC Sport app, and of course on the YouTube streams as well, as we've got a play and miss that from Simpson, who's just come to the crease. He prodded forward, beat the outside edge from Overton, who's bowling very nicely. Just 2 runs conceded and a wicket taken in this over, having gone for 8 in the first.
Big week for the Overton family, with Jamie being called up for the England Test squad.
Of course, yeah, first call up in a couple of years for him. As Craig Overton comes in and bowls, and Simpson tries to drop that at his feet and run, but Overton is quick in to deny him. So excellent over from Craig Overton. Just 2 conceded, and the wicket of Daniel Hughes. That's a big one for Somerset. And at the end of the third, Sussex Sharks are 17 for 1.
Yep, Craig Overton persisting with this test match line and length, really aiming at the top of off stump. Not varying it to any great extent, bowling very much as he would do in a county championship match. Although he didn't play in the county championship match here back in April. Rather controversially, he was rested, and Somerset fell to a heavy defeat.
There's very contrasting fortunes in those 2 championship matches. The home side on both occasions running out convincing winners.
Absolutely. So it's 1-1 between Somerset and Sussex. Somerset have won 2 out of the last 3 T20 games between the 2 sides. Riley Meredith is in to bowl to Harrison Ward down the leg side. Oh, and Tom Kohler-Cadmore lets that through his legs, and they're going to come back for a second by, I suspect, wide. So that's 3 wides, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah, and just losing his line slightly first ball. You can allow yourself one or two here and there at the start of your spell, but need to tighten up the lines in T20 cricket pretty quickly.
Yes, and to be fair to Tom Kohler-Cadmore, it did rather die on him. Didn't really carry through at any height at all. Here comes Meredith. Going over the wicket. In and bowls. Again, this is down the leg side. That's gone for 4. Down a couple of bounces over the boundary rope in front of the players' pavilion. And not a very good delivery from Riley Meredith.
Picked up quickly, wasn't it, and dispatched through deep backward square leg and in front of the Spenkarma pavilion, and
lucky not to have been hit for 6. It's one of those that rather asked to be just helped on its way over the long leg boundary. 24 for 1. Meredith to Ward. Turned into the onside. They'll pick up the single as Overton fields at mid-on. 25 for 1. We're in the 4th over. Somerset winning the toss here this evening on a blustery, cloudy, quite warm evening, as long as you're out of the wind, with a slightly disappointing crowd. I've seen bigger crowds here at Hove. Lots of empty seats up at the far end, but good atmosphere. Floodlights are on. Meredith is steaming in. He's there in bowls, and this again is turned into the onside for a single, this time by John Simpson. 2 left-handers at the crease. Lots of left-handers in this
very much so
Sussex side.
You have to be left-handed or called Tom to get into the Sussex team these days.
Well, Somerset have got their ration of Toms as well.
Of course, yeah. There's Toms everywhere. There's 5 Toms, I think. Playing tonight. Across both teams.
Thomas Rue likes to be known as Thomas.
Still counts.
Yeah. Here's Meredith to Ward. He's in and bowls. Again, it's down the leg side, and this time a very good stop by Tom Kohler-Cadmore. Had to fling himself to his right to prevent that going for more than 1 wide. But a wide it is. 26 for 1 in the 4th. This has not been a very good over from Meredith. Wide 4, 1-1 wide. And he just hasn't got his line right to these left-handers. Slightly surprised he's bowling over the wicket. Fashion nowadays is to bowl around the wicket and try and cramp the left-handers for room. He's in now and bowls short, and this again is going to be not a wide. I'm slightly surprised at that as well. It was a slower ball dug in, and Harrison Ward threw the shot too early. Perhaps it just clipped something. Maybe it just clipped his shoulder, I think.
And there was a sort of half appeal, wasn't there? But maybe that was with the intention of convincing the umpire not to give another wide. That tends to happen, doesn't it, with the wicket keepers when it goes down the leg side? They love to have a half appeal.
Meredith again to Ward. He goes for a big shot and doesn't get hits it about 2 yards as it comes off the bottom edge down into the pitch. But that again was asking for trouble, that delivery from Riley Meredith. He's presumably intending to bowl pretty straight. That was on leg stump. It was a good hard length, and I think it was on to Harrison Ward a bit too quickly for the shot. He is quick, Riley Meredith. One of the quickest in the business. Here he comes again, sprinting in. He's there and bowls, and this is short and might be a catch. Craig Overton takes the catch. That's the 2nd wicket, and wasn't a particularly good ball from Riley Meredith, but it did the business, and that is the end of Harrison Ward. He's gone, caught Overton, bowled Meredith for 14, and it's 27 for 2, and by Craig Overton's standards that was a very straightforward catch.
Yes, that went over his had to follow it back a little bit, went over his shoulder, but yes, a good catch. And Harrison Ward retreats to the pavilion and the second Sussex Sharks wicket goes down. Now we're seeing James Coles come to the wicket, and he has started the season in exceptional form. 77 not out from 44 deliveries against Middlesex, 43 from 27 against Gloucestershire. In those 2 innings, he's hit 9 sixes. So he'll be looking to apply some pressure possibly, but Sussex, of course, need to just be a bit careful here, as it's going to be Overton again with his 3rd over coming in now and bowls, and that one's beaten Simpson. So at the end of that was last. That wicket was on the last ball of the over. So batters have switched, of course. So Coles will be facing. Will be at the non-strikers end. Simpson facing 1 from 4 for him. The red ball skipper. Simpson facing Overton. He goes to swing that one. There was an appeal for a catch behind, but nothing doing from the umpire.
Seemed to deviate.
It did a little bit, didn't it? And then die. But then again, we've seen balls do that were nowhere near the bat. But just watching the replay on the monitors themselves, very difficult to tell.
Ambitious shot.
Yes. So yeah, a bit of a heave as Overton trudges up to his mark and then comes running into bowl, and Simpson prods that out into the offside. They're going to come through for a quick single shy at the stumps, but misses. And Sussex move on to 28 for 2, so James Coles will get a chance to face Overton now.
Would have been tight if Tom Abel had hit.
.28 for 2, the Sussex score. T20 blast action, the 3rd match. Both teams 2 from 2, and as they say in America, somebody's O has got to go. Who will it be? 2 unbeaten starts on the line. Of course, a long campaign for both, but this will be a big match as Coles doesn't get a hold of that one, and out into the leg side for no run. Overton again bowling very tightly. 1 for 11 so far from 2 overs and 4 balls. 9 dots included in there, and they are gold dust in this format. He's up to the wicket again now, bowls Overton and clipped by Coles, but he can't beat the inner field, and so no run again. Very impressive stuff this from Overton.
Yeah, he likes to. He'll probably bowl. Well, this is his 3rd over. He'll probably bowl. He might bowl 1 more. He might bowl out. Yeah, he either bowls 3 or 4 at the start of the innings.
Always a hard-working individual. Craig Overton comes in and bowls. That one is squirted down towards 3rd man. They're going to pick up 1. It's well fielded, and it will only be 1. So yeah, really good over again. Just a couple of runs from it from Craig Overton, and he is applying the pressure on Sussex, who have lost 2 wickets already. And yeah, it's good start from Somerset from the bowling attack point of view. 29 for 2.
Yeah, and the catch by Craig Overton gives me a chance to bring you the first Steve Pittard stat of the evening. Craig Overton has taken 70 catches now in 95 games of T20 cricket, which is an average of 0.73 catches per match, which is the highest of any cricketer currently playing T20 cricket in this country. Here's Matt Henry back into the attack, bowling to James Coles. He hits this up in the air. Lewis Gregory takes the catch. It's the 3rd wicket, and the dangerous James Coles has gone, trying to clip Matt Henry over the top of mid-wicket, not getting anything on it at all really, and another straightforward catch, this time taken by Somerset skipper Lewis Gregory. And well, Sussex in trouble. 29 now for 3.
Yeah, James Coles, a lot of people would have been coming here to see him add to his fantastic record so far this season, but he is out early, and Somerset will be delighted with that. So that's Ward, Hughes and Coles now back in the pavilion, and as you say, Anthony, Sussex in trouble. 29 for 3.
Yep, And just going back to that Craig Overton catch, he's taken 95 now 70 in 94 games, followed by Tom Abel, who's taken 68 in 98, and then Sean Dixon 38 and 55. Those are the three with the highest ratio of catches per match.
Speaking of Toms, Tom Alsop is next to the crease for Sussex. Made a half century against Gloucestershire last time out, 58 from 35 deliveries.
Yes, and he's got a pretty good record in T20 cricket, obviously for Hampshire as well as Sussex. Matt Henry to bowl to him. He's another left-hander. He's in and bowls. That's a Yorker. And well bowled and well played. Well dug out by Tom Alsop. He averages 28.5 in 89 games of T20 cricket. Best of 87 not out. Strike rate of just under 130.
And that half century last time pushed him past 2,000 T20 runs.
29 for 3 in the 6th as Henry is in and bowls. This tucked down to long leg. Will Smead will do the fielding, so it's just a single. 30 for 3. Well, they do say you don't win T20 matches if you lose 3 wickets in the power play. I'm not sure that that's really true. Be interesting to see some stats on that. But sides bat so deep these days. And Sussex have still got plenty of batting to come. Henry to Simpson. Simpson doesn't time. Attempted cut. Gregory fields at extra cover.
Would you make of Henry returning to replace Meredith immediately?
Good captaincy. Good captaincy, and he is a very good captain, is Lewis Gregory. Which brings me to another Steve Pittard stat, which I'll give you after this delivery from Matt Henry to John Simpson. Another Yorker driven down the ground. That's 4 runs. It was an attempted Yorker and he didn't get it quite right, Matt Henry. It was pitched right up and nicely driven down the ground by John Simpson. 34 for 3 in the 6th over. Yeah, Lewis Gregory is the most successful captain in the history of domestic T20 cricket.
Well, there you are.
In England. That's with a minimum of 50 matches. He's won 67.65% of the games in which he has captained. Next best is Dan Christian, who with 61.5%. Last ball then of the power play. It's Henry to Simpson, who pulls this, and there could be 2 here, should be 2, as Will Smead has ground to make that on the leg side. So that's the power play done and dusted. 36 for 3, and I think Somerset will be the happier of the 2 sides.
Oh, absolutely,
at
they
the
will
end
be.
of that power play.
Absolutely, they will be, Anthony. Yes, a word on that John Simpson boundary down the ground. I mean, that was as straight as it could be virtually, because it missed the stump at the other end by a whisker, and ended up nestling itself in amongst the hit the rope and went over the advertising boards and nestled in around the covers down in front of us, and Craig Overton had to hurdle a fence to then try and get it back. But John Simpson and Tom Alsop have a bit of a rebuilding job to do here. Don't get a lot of time to actually do that in T20 cricket. 36 for 3.
Gregory.
Lewis Gregory coming in now and bowling and cut away by Alsop, who's going to get a single. So again, very similar shot to the one we talked about very at the top of the innings, but the John Simpson one off the last ball, that's another example, isn't it, where he didn't get enough on it and therefore was able to take 2 because the fielder had to do a little bit more work to go and get the ball, whereas hit like a tracer bullet and it finds the fielder immediately. Life ain't fair sometimes, but John Simpson facing up now to Gregory, and he is tucked up a little bit by that, so back of a length, and try to force it through the onside. Fielded in his follow through by Gregory.
Somerset would like to see the back of John Simpson. He's got form against Somerset. John Simpson for Middlesex and for Sussex.
This partnership key for both sides, really, as Gregory comes in and bowls. That one keeps low a little bit, dies as it.
Slow ball.
Simpson tries to hoik it leg side. So, 37 for 3, Sussex, midway through the 7th over. Gregory turns, runs in, he's up to the wicket now, he bowls, and this one is flicked away by Simpson through the leg side, and they'll pick up a single. Simpson to 9, Sussex to 38 for 3. Live T20 Blast cricket on the BBC and on the YouTube stream, and also around the ground, I imagine. You can hear us. And Allsop now facing as Gregory comes in and bowls, and again that's straight, and Allsop does manage to get that away through the leg side. He'll pick up a single as more seagulls swoop around at the First Central County Ground here at Hove, just a stone's throw from the seafront.
John Simpson's last 3 innings against Somerset: 47, 110 not out and 82 not out.
There you go, that's why he's so important for Somerset to try and get rid of. He's managed to work that one past the diving Gregory on his follow through and takes a single. So 4 from that Lewis Gregory over, keeps things tight, and Sussex at the end of the 7th of 40 for 3.
Yep, another good over from Lewis Gregory, who has plenty of bowling options, and he's going to use one of those options now in the shape of the left arm spin of Lewis Goldsworthy, who will fairly sure be firing it in, bowling darts.
England 116 for 4 in their first T20 against the West Indies. That's in the 12th over, so they've been cracking on a bit there.
40 for 3 here as we come up to the start of the 8th over. Lewis Goldsworthy in bowls and driven down the ground, and it will be cut off just in front of us by Matt Henry. They're going to come back for a second run after some hesitations. Good piece of fielding, that was very well struck.
And we were well placed to judge whether it was going to be 4 or not. Henry diving down right in front of us, and yet he did really well not to touch the rope as well.
42 for 3, Goldsworthy to Simpson. It tucks this away into the onside. Should just be a single as Lammonby is quickly in from straight mid-wicket. Gregory just having a little chat with his bowler about and as a result of that, Will Smead is being moved to deep backward point. So Tom Allsop, 2 left-handers. Goldsworthy in bowls. This is driven hard down the ground. Craig Overton's coming across and can't cut it off. Good hard straight hit from Tom Allsop. And well, this has been an expensive start for Lewis Goldsworthy. 2-1-4 from his first 3 deliveries. Not sure that spin is the answer on this pitch. Goldsworthy to Allsop, tosses this one up. This is driven down the ground, and again Craig Overton does his absolute level best to get a hand on that down below us, but it's a short boundary. There's short boundaries straight here at Hove, and that was absolutely smashed by Tom Allsop, who moves on to 11. 50 is up for Sussex. Goldsworthy bowls, and this time it's turned into the onside. They're going to think about coming for a second run, but Tom Lammonby very quickly in, keeps them down to just the single.
Yeah, there's never a second there, and a bit of a quicker, flatter delivery that from Goldsworthy. That was a sensible delivery, really.
2-1-4-4-1 in this over so far. Last ball of it coming up. Tosses this one up, it's driven away, but it'll just be a single as Tom Abel is patrolling the cover boundary. So 53 for 3, but that was Sussex's best over. 11, 15, 16, 17 runs from it. And, well, quite say they've broken the shackles, but that's an important step forward.
Yeah, do you reckon that might make Lewis Gregory rethink the spin option, or will he pursue?
I think one is enough, probably.
Okay.
It's slightly surprising that Lewis Goldsworthy's playing, because Jack Leach is in the squad but hasn't been picked to play.
Gregory is going to continue himself from the Cromwell Road end, and attempted launched it down the pitch, but an inside edge actually went for 4 from Simpson. He attempted to take a step or two down and try and launch Lewis Gregory almost towards Haywards Heath, but in the end an inside edge and down to the boundary rope. And this boundary in front of us, right in front of us, has seen a lot of action. A couple of times it's been with the batter facing away from us, which shows you a couple of streaky ones in there. Simpson 18 from 17 now. He started slowly. He's starting to click into gear as Gregory over the wicket comes in and bowls, and just played out into the leg side. They're going to come through for a single. Will just be a single. Sussex 258 for 3. Tell you that Tom Banton out for 3 in that England
well, at least he's playing.
Jamie Smith 38, Ben Duckett made 1, Joss Butler still there, 61 not out from 38 deliveries, Harry Brook out for 6, and Tom Banton out for 3. Jacob Bethel just coming in, 116 for 4 at the end of the 12th there. Free hit, so there's a no ball in there from Gregory. So a free hit for Sussex as Alsop faces up. In comes Gregory, and Alsop hammers this away through the leg side. It's only going to be a single, though, well fielded out on the boundary rope there, and it will just be that 1 run off the free hit, which Somerset will take.
He's a prolific no-baller. It's Lewis Gregory. The only bowler currently playing T20 cricket domestically who bowls more no-balls than Lewis Gregory is Tamar Mills.
Oh, well, there you are. So we're going to have plenty of free hits tonight, maybe, who knows, as Gregory comes in and bowls, and a bit of an outside edge from Simpson. There's 3 fielders converging, but it will be in between all 3 of them down towards the backward point region, and it will be a single. I'll come back for a couple, in fact, as I was looking at the 3 fielders converging. Got away with that one a little bit, Simpson. 21 from 19, Sussex to 63 for 3.
Gregory's now bowled 34 no-balls in domestic T20, compared with Tamar Mills' 37.
Loving the stats at the moment as Gregory comes in and bowls, and Simpson hoiks that away through the leg side for the first maximum of the match, and it goes into the hospitality area. People scatter for cover and try and hide their free champagne, and it's into one of the executive, I was going to say lounges, but I'm not sure that's the right turn of phrase for it, but and first 6 of the innings, Simpson carting that one away.
In the slot, I'm afraid.
As Gregory now comes in to bowl once more to Simpson. Simpson cuts that one away. He will pick up at least 1. They're going to think about a second. They're going to have to come through quickly for the second, and they do so. The stumps are broken at the striker's end, but they were home and hosed in that. So that's the end of the... Oh, is there one more? There's going to be one more, is there? Because of the no ball. Yeah, one more left in this over. They have to remake the wicket for the moment. Good work from Tom Kohler-Cadmore. Having broken it, if you break it, you've got to fix it. 71 for 3, last ball of the 9th over. Simpson's on 29 as Gregory comes in to bowl to him. It's Fuller, this one. He's hitting the on the pad. There's a big shout for LBW.
Must have been close.
Yeah, they were very keen on it, but the umpire has said no. We shall wait to see on our replay, which is
the replay.
It's a little bit behind for us. Ooh, it's full. It was full.
Might have been just outside going, leg stump.
Yeah, might have also been shaping down leg side, possibly. Enough doubt in the umpire's mind, certainly, not to give it out.
Elsewhere in the South Group, Glamorgan against Essex. Essex 157 for 6 in the 18th. Surrey against Kent at Canterbury 128 for 5. And Gloucester 63 for 2 in the 10th against Hampshire. Ben Green to bowl to John Simpson, who's been rather monopolising the strike, and that's hammered away through the offside for 4 runs. Just a gentle, well, he shouldn't really bowl looseners, not in 20 over cricket, but that's rather what it looked like from Ben Green. Just sort of lolloped up on the offside on a good length and whacked away through extra cover. John Simpson, who is looking very dangerous. He moves on to 33 from 23 deliveries. This time he only hit it back to Ben Green. Ben Green, tall, mustachioed, got a fine mane of hair, straight backed. He looks as one would imagine a guardsman ought to look. A very fine cricketer he is too. Here he is into Simpson, who turns this down to long leg for a single. Ben Green has the best strike rate of any cricketer currently playing T20 cricket in this country. He takes a wicket every 12.95 deliveries.
13, we'll call that, shall we?
Yeah, 13. It's not bad though, is it?
Not bad at all.
Green in a bowls to Allsop, who is tucked up, and they're going to take a smart single as Tom Curley-Cadmore standing back to Ben Green, which is understandable enough in this form of the game. 78 for 3.
Green took 2 wickets against Surrey, 3 against Essex in the 7 overs that he's bowled.
3 and an over against Essex. His other 3 overs were rather expensive.
This one's gone for 6 so far.
He's in and bowls to Simpson, who turns that away into the onside. They're coming back for the second, and will get there comfortably enough. Has bisected the 2 boundary riders on the leg side.
50 partnership.
That is the 50 partnership. And it's come up pretty quickly as well.
Yeah, the last wicket went down at the first ball of the 5th over.
Last ball of this over, as Green is into Allsop, who swings this away into the onside. Should just be a single this time, though, as Tom Lammonby only has to move 5 yards to his left to do the fielding. A single it is, and that is the halfway mark. So 81 for 3 at the halfway mark, which means that Sussex going along around about 8 runs and over. On course for what Steve Pittard informs me is par for this ground over the history of T20 cricket, which is 163. Although, as we were saying before, Andrew, I suspect par is probably a bit higher than that now, as scores have tended to get bigger as players have got more used to playing T20 cricket.
And I think, particularly here, I think there's been some bigger scores in the last 2 or 3 years. That's just my hunch, as Matt Henry comes in now, switches ends and bowls, and driven down the ground, but well stopped by Henry. And they're going to come through for a single anyway, because it didn't fall at Henry's feet. So it did go behind the wicket, and so they're able to come through for a single. Any quickly taken run will do for these two at the moment.
He was looking for the run out. The non-strikers end was Henry there.
Yeah, it was close as well. I don't know whether he would have been home or not. But
I don't think he would. I think if he'd managed to flick that onto the stumps, then I think Allsop would have been in trouble.
One happened like that up at Lord's actually last Thursday. Anyway, Henry comes in and bowls to Allsop. Allsop cuts that away. It goes down towards third man. They'll pick up a single. Sharks moving on to 83 for 3. Sussex 2 wins from 2. Somerset 2 wins from 2. Both of these two sides at finals day last year. Both eventually beaten by the eventual champions Gloucestershire. Sussex slumping to defeat in the semi-final. Somerset beaten,
sliding to defeat
in the final. As short from Henry, and it's slapped down the ground, almost tennis shot style. That would not have looked out of place at Roland Garros, and it's going to be a single, which will move Simpson to 39 and Sussex to 84 for 3.
It's looking very, very dangerous, is John Simpson. Tom Allsop hasn't quite got into his stride yet.
15 from 10 for Allsop at the moment, as he faces Henry, and Allsop hammers that down the ground. Is it going to be 4? Is it going to be 6? I think it's gone all the way. It has. Down towards sort of long on in front of some delighted home supporters who are starting to get some of their money's worth from these expansive, expressive shots from the home batters.
Somerset need a wicket.
The voice of Anthony Gibson of BBC Radio Somerset, Andrew Raven from BBC Radio Sussex, as Somerset Henry comes in and bowls, and that's cut away down towards third man. Good diving stop on the boundary rope. They'll take 2.
Thomas Rue, that was.
Thomas Rue doing very well down there at wide third man. Had to run away to his left. And
young man's piece of fielding, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm 40. I would never have done that. It'd have taken me 6 weeks to get back up again. They'd have run 9 by the time I'd have worked out what had gone on. Although, to be fair, I'd have never have got there in the first place, let alone the dive. Allsop 23 from 12. Sussex 92 for 3. Final ball of this over. Henry comes in and bowls an edge. Is there through to the wicket keeper? Yes, there is. Allsop goes. Matt Henry strikes. There's the wicket that Somerset needed to end the partnership. A thin edge through to the wicket keeper. Given out by the umpire, and Sussex lose their 4th wicket. And it's 92 for 4. Allsop goes for 23.
And Matt Henry works the oracle again. Brought back into the attack to take a wicket, and that is precisely what he has done with Tom Allsop, who looked, I said earlier in the over, he wasn't getting into his stride. Then he hit the next ball for 6, and he was looking very threatening. So that's another good wicket for Somerset. 92 for 4.
Good catch from Cola Cadmore. Allsop looked a little bit disappointed. He sort of stayed there to wait for the decision and was then given out, and it looked down at the ground a little bit. I'm not sure whether he felt he got a nick on it or not. He's got to go, of course, but he took a little bit of time to walk off as well. He got halfway to the pavilion very slowly, but he's sped up a little bit now.
It looked to me like he was something on it, just from the way the ball behaved.
And it was a low catch, wasn't it, through to Cola Cadmore. So we're going to see Overton, who's now changed ends.
Here's Craig Overton in and bowls to Simpson, who turns this into the onside and will pick up a single. 93 for 4 in the 12th over.
So this is Overton's last over.
And he's going to be bowling to Tom Clark. Yet another left-hander.
And another Tom.
Here comes Overton. He's there and bowls, and down the leg side, not a good delivery, and that'll be a wide.
Good job Tom Haynes isn't involved. That'll be another left-handed Tom.
Would he make this 20 over side for Sussex, Tom Haynes?
I don't think so. I'm not sure how much T20 cricket he's played in. But he's obviously away with England Lions.
Overton in and bowls, and this is just a defensive push by
he was
Tom Clark.
he was bowling for England Lions the last time I looked. Mind you, they'll have finished that, of course, by now against India A for the day.
Yes, captained by James Rue of Somerset.
319 for 7 at Stumps, India A. Haynes made a massive score in the first match.
Here's Overton in and bowls to Clark, who's looking, well, he will get a single down to third man. Riley Meredith down there. Clark just taking his time, just getting a good look at the bowling before he unleashes his shots. And it's John Simpson that Somerset want to remove.
Yeah, Haynes has only played 4 T20 matches.
Overton then to Simpson. He's there and bowls, and it should just be a single. I think about a second run, but Matt Henry's pretty quick, and it wasn't a very good throw, but he got to the ball quickly enough to deter them from attempting a second run. 96 for 4.
I think in white ball cricket these days they're always thinking about the second run, even when there isn't one there.
Well, it's the right thing to do, because you're putting the fielder under pressure. Overton in bowls, and again bowling at the stumps is Craig Overton. cramping the batsmen for room, not allowing them any width, particularly width outside the off stump.
They always talk about the fielding, don't they, in terms of what T20 has brought to other forms of cricket, but also I do think that in Test cricket these days singles are turned into twos much more often.
97 for 4, Overton in and bowls, and Simpson this time is content to play just a defensive shot, and that is the end of Craig Overton, and his 4 overs have gone for just 17 runs with the 1 wicket. So fine spell from Craig Overton, and well, he'll go out into the outfield now and expect to pick up another couple of catches.
Yeah, excellent bowling from Craig Overton, the sort of figures that Ollie Robinson will hope to be returning later when Sussex are bowling. What sort of target though will they be bowling at? That's the big question. Sussex currently 97 for 4. And we're going to see Riley Meredith back after his first over went for 1 for 10. So Meredith from the Cromwell Road end comes running in now. He's up to the wicket, he bowls, and that's pulled away by Clark, out for a single to the man in the deep.
Yeah, Lewis Gregory's got to be... doubt if he'll give Meredith more than 1 over in this spell. That would take him up to 2, which means he would have 2 left, Gregory would have 2 left, Ben Green would have 3 left, which I think that will occupy the 7 that will remain after this. I don't think we'll see Lewis Goldsworthy again.
So Meredith coming in now. He's up to the wicket, he bowls, and this one's heaved away through the leg side. It's going to be a boundary, I think. Yes, through mid-wicket to the fence for 4. More for St John Simpson.
Just a fraction short. Dragged through the onside.
And that will take Sussex beyond 100. 102 for 4. Simpson, Sussex's red ball captain, looking to make an impact once again in white ball cricket. 45 from 33 he is at the moment. As he's pulls this one away, virtually the same area, and it will be the same result. 4 more as Meredith drops short again, and this time I think probably helped slightly from outside off to through mid-wicket for 4 runs, and that takes Simpson to 49. What was the slightly outside off stump, dragged through mid-wicket out to the boundary, back-to-back 4s.
Yeah, not good bowling. He's not been at his best here this evening, Riley Meredith.
So Simpson 49 not out. He takes guard. 3 or 4, and then 5 or 6 taps of the bat, and then he steps away because Meredith isn't quite ready. Now Meredith is at his mark and ready, and Simpson slightly squatted, bat raised, as then edges that down towards, plays it down towards third man, guided down towards third man, and he comes through for a 50. So half century for John Simpson, coming off of 35 deliveries.
The scourge of Somerset.
And he's doing it again.
He certainly is.
Next month he'll turn 37, and his middle name's Andrew. What a fine man.
Well, he's had a new lease of life since he's come to Hove.
He absolutely has, and I'll give you more on that in a minute, as this one is... he attempted... Clark tried to guide that away, pull it away through the onside, but he didn't get anything on it really, and it landed just by his feet, and he wanted to scamper through for a single, but quick Somerset fielding prevented him. I think I was right in saying that... I'm trying to think now the actual figures, but John Simpson increased his first class hundreds in his career by 50% last season as captain.
Yep.
So I think he'd had 10, and by the end of the season had added 5 more, and that's when given the added burden of the captaincy and being a wicket keeper, I mean, that's a fantastic return. Clark is facing to Meredith, and an attempted pull which he misses, and that will close out that over. He got out that over well, Meredith, having gone 1-4-4-1. So 10 off it. Sussex at the end of the 13th over, 107 for 4. So the run rate is a little over 8.
So what are we looking at? 170, 175, something like that?
Yeah, well, 7 overs to go. 10 and over takes you to just under 180.
As long as John Simpson is there, then the ceiling could be a little bit higher than that. Ben Green is going to bowl his second over. His first cost 9 runs. He's bowling 2. Simpson takes pace off, and Simpson just drops that into the offside. Trots through for comfortable single, 108 for 4.
John Simpson's 11th T20 50. His highest score is 84 not out.
Well, Green then to Clark. Again, it's a slower delivery, and they will think about. Keep saying they're thinking about it, but I'm not sure they are really. They're just putting a little bit of pressure on the fielder, but the fielder in that instance was Craig Overton, and you don't take liberties with Big Craig with ball either in hand or close to hand. It's Green into Simpson, makes room for himself, pulls that, but again it'll just be a single as Will Smead fields at deep backward square leg. Somerset getting through their overs quite promptly. I think they might have been under a little bit of pressure from the time point of view.
Yeah, they've got 18 minutes, no more than that, sorry, 24 minutes.
Green in a bowls, this has gone straight up in the air, it's going to land safe, or Meredith is under it, and Meredith has caught it! No, he hasn't, he's dropped it! Oh dear, I thought he caught it.
I must admit, it's from the far end from us, and it looked like he caught it to me as well. Yeah. But I did think to myself, there are an awful lot of Somerset fans in this ground.
I thought he caught it because his teammate, I thought, was running to congratulate him, and the teammate was Thomas Rue, and they've come through for 2 runs. So 112 for 4. Apologies for. This hits. This is a slower ball, and Clark threw the shot much too early and hit something. Whether it's his, I think it may have been his glove and just gone out into the onside for a single.
It's a very slower ball. That was almost spinner speed.
Yeah, it just came off the back of his glove. Threw the shot much too early. 113 for 4 in the 14th. Green is in and bowls. This is hammered through the offside by John Simpson. Well, it's the shot of the evening, I think, that from John Simpson. Absolutely timed the pants off it.
So you mentioned that John Simpson is a scourge of Somerset, and I mentioned that his 84 career best. Well, do you know who that was against? Somerset, yes, for Middlesex in 2015. So 10 years ago.
Well, he does have a tremendous record against Somerset.
But you'll be pleased to hear Somerset won that match by 9 wickets.
Oh, well.
So
Somerset, I don't think they'll want to be chasing much more than 170 against a strong Sussex attack.
Certainly building up to be a close one. We expected this to be a good one, I think. Somerset dominated early on, but Sussex are fighting back, particularly with Simpson, 56 not out. Meredith is going to come in and bowl to Clark, and he lets that go through because it's at wide beyond those marks outside the off stump. So Meredith continuing, which is going to leave one of the bowlers short, isn't it?
Well, Gregory's still got 2 to go, Green's still got 2 to go, and this is the first of 2 that...
Oh, maybe not then.
That Meredith can bowl, so they should be all right.
Oh, Meredith is in, he's up to the wicket now, he bowls, and this one is hoiked away over square leg for 6 by Clark. There was a fielder out there, but he needed to have been 20 foot tall to have been in with a chance of a catch.
Not Riley Meredith's evening.
I think that's possibly fair to say. Clark has hoiked that one, picked it up well and dispatched it.
Half volley on leg stump.
Sussex looking to go through the gears. 20 minutes for the cut-off time of 8:17, which is the start of the final over, of course.
And Lewis Gregory just having a word with his bowler.
But, in comes Meredith now, trying to respond, and he's gone wide. Has he gone too wide? No. Good wide full ball. Clark was on the stretch a little bit, but within the limits.
Yeah, he's got to be a little bit careful. He's bowling outside the off stump. He's got the fielder out at deep cover, but no one in the deep at extra cover.
No, the fielders on the boundary rope are at third man, deep mid wicket. Yeah, extra cover and long on as Clark faces Meredith, and he tickles that over to behind the stumps, and he's going to pick up a single shy at the stumps from Kohler Cadmore, who threw a glove off. That's come through for a single. Clark 14 he moves on to 13. He, the scoreboard updated before putting Simpson as the next man on strike. So 13 from 12 he's got Clark at the moment. 125 for 4 Sussex. A wide, a 6, a leg by that's been given as. Simpson 56 not out. In comes Meredith, bowls, that's outside the off stump, through to the wicket keeper, missed. Good bowling that. Brave.
Simpson just indicating where he thought that one had. Just watch the replay. Oh no, it was well inside the line.
It's inside the line.
Yeah.
It's closer to the line than the stumps, but it's still inside the line.
Well, we haven't seen any scoops or ramps yet, but or indeed reverse sweeps. But then we've only seen one over a spin,
and we probably won't get another one.
No.
As Meredith from the Cromwell Road in comes in and bowls. That's a fuller one on outside the off stump, and Simpson manages to squeeze that out into the offside for a single. Moves on to 57. Sussex to 126 for 4.
Yeah, he's come back well, Riley Meredith, after bowling a wide first up and being hit for 6. Then dot, leg by, dot 1. So last ball coming up of the 15th.
Sussex on 126 for 4 as the time ticks around to 8 o'clock. Meredith turns. He's running in now. He's up to the wicket and he bowls, and also Clark goes fishing for that one. Goes through to the wicket keeper. So an excellent response after being hit for 6 off his first legal delivery of that over, having bowled a wide off his first, and a good comeback that from Riley Meredith. 126 for 4 at the end of the 15th.
Yeah, and I suspect what Lewis Gregory said to Riley Meredith is bowl it outside the off stump, and that's precisely what he did, and with the results that we can see. So 5 overs remain, 126 for 4. 50 from here would take Sussex to 176, but I suspect they'll be targeting a few more than that, certainly as long as John Simpson is there with his 57 from 40 deliveries. Lewis Gregory to bowl the 16th over. He's in, bowls to Simpson, who's slamming this down the ground, and it's going to be cut off by Matt Henry. Good sliding piece of fielding down below us. Slid and got his body between the ball and the boundary rope, and it's the modern version of the long barrier. 127 for 4, but that ball was travelling again. Simpson on to 58, Gregory to Clark, and this is down the leg side, and that's going to be 4 wides, I suspect. Yep, 4 wides. It wasn't a very good, I don't know what Lewis Gregory was trying to do there. I think it may have been the slower ball, but was a long way down the leg side, and Cola Cadmore really had no chance at all of making the stop. So 4 bonus runs for Sussex, 132 for 4. Gregory to Clark, and this again is on leg stump, and it's pulled down to long leg where Will Smead does the fielding. So it's just a single, but not a good ball from Lewis Gregory. Somerset haven't bowled as well this evening as they have done in their 2 previous games, with the exception of Craig Overton, and Matt Henry's bowled pretty well too. Craig Overton outstanding, his 4 overs going for just 17 runs with a wicket, as Gregory is in and bowls, and this is swung away, and Will Smead takes the catch. He takes the catch, goes back over the boundary and reclaims it, and they are going to have a look at this, and it's John Simpson who is not sure whether he's out or not. We will watch the replay, and I'm not sure about that.
Now, well, Simpson is walking off.
Oh.
And there is a new batter coming onto the field, so Simpson,
brilliant piece of work by Will Smead. It's hard from the replay to tell.
It looks slightly like he might be on the rope.
Yeah, it did. But the people, the spectators behind, seem to have no problem with it at all.
That's true. So they probably would have seen, as we would down here in front of us, if that would be the case. So excellent knock from John Simpson, 58 from 41 deliveries. So he'll be disappointed that he wasn't able to kick on and get some more. Obviously, he would have hoped that might have gone for 6. But such is the small margins in this sport, particularly in this format. And so Sussex lose their 5th. They are 133 for 5.
Yeah, big wicket that for Somerset. John Simpson very much the man in possession. Gregory then to the new batsman,
Jack Carson.
He's in and bowls. This is driven back to Gregory, who doesn't field it cleanly. They think momentarily about a single, but it's not there.
Carson didn't play the first game at Lord's. Came in for Danny Lamb against Gloucestershire. Hit a 6 in his brief cameo of 9. And also took 2 wickets as well.
Here's Gregory to Carson. And he'll pick up a single here as Tom Abel fields, 135 for 5. Yeah, interestingly, the only change between the side that played Somerset at Taunton last July and the side here this evening is that Jack Carson is in for Daniel Lamb.
And I can't help but feel that that consistency in selection is what's got both these sides to where they are.
There's Gregory to Tom Clark, and Tom Clark clips this away into the onside. There'll be 2 runs here as Tom Lammonby makes a good sliding stop out at deep mid-wicket. End of the Gregory over, which included the precious wicket of John Simpson. It went for 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. But with that wicket, a very good over, 134 for 5. 135 for 5, rather, with 4 overs remaining.
Jack Carson in his 15th T20 match. Has a high score of 26. Matt Henry is going to bowl, what I presume will be his last, I think
he's bowled 3, yes. So must be, yeah.
So 2 for 25 so far from the New Zealander. Henry is going to bowl to Jack Carson, the Northern Irishman. Carson goes to launch that down the ground. He's going to be caught at long on. He is.
Craig Overton
takes another catch. Those stats will need to be updated. And Jack Carson is stay at the crease is short and sweet once again. He tried to launch Henry back down the ground and just managed to, like a 9-iron, hit it high but not far enough, and a couple of strides in from the boundary rope, Craig Overton takes the catch.
Well, Somerset dragging this back at the moment. When Simpson and Clark were together, Sussex very much on top, on course for 175, 180, something like that. But 6 wickets down, the innings has a rather different complexion to it.
Absolutely, and it's strains of Tom Hark ringing around Hove now. Nathan McAndrew, the Australian, is coming to the crease. Tom Clark 16 from 15, Sussex 136 for 6, so they're going to have to go some to try and post a decent target, you'd feel, or they're going to have to bowl exceptionally well, which is what Somerset have done at the start and end of the innings thus far. Matt Henry with that wicket is going to come in to bowl to McAndrew. McAndrew plays that down into the offside and will scamper through for a single from his first delivery there. New Zealand against Australia, they'll love that.
Yes.
Of course, Australia, their test team in town for the World Test Championship final being played out at Lord's from Wednesday. South Africa have been trying to play a match against Zimbabwe at Arundel down the road, but that's been weather affected. Clark facing Henry, and he dabs that down towards the backward point region. He's going to come through for a single, moves him on to 17, and Sussex to 138 for 6.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for these lower order Sussex batsmen to score at the sort of rate that John Simpson was scoring at. Although Somerset's strike bowlers have just about bowled out. Henry
just waits while the field is being just manoeuvred into position. So he's up to the wicket now, Henry. He bowls, and McAndrew, there's a slower one into the pitch. And
clever bowling, wasn't it?
McAndrew was into the shot before the ball had even reached him.
Very clever bowling. He's jogging back to his mark, Matt Henry. Somerset are obviously worried about the cut-off.
9 minutes for them to get to. Well, yeah, they've got to get through 2 overs after this one. As he comes in now and bowls it short, and this time is off the bottom edge of the bat, and it'll be a couple of runs they'll take through mid-wicket. So a bit of a fumble, but they won't be able to capitalise on that. And a couple of runs to the Sussex total, which moves on to 140. 6 down. McAndrew 3 from 3, and he's facing Henry. Short, and attempted pull, but McAndrew was never going to get that. It's over his head. He looks forlornly at the square leg umpire.
Just 4 runs from the over.
Yes, excellent over that from Matt Henry. He finishes with figures of 3 for 29 from his 4 overs. That's superb stuff from the New Zealander. And Sussex 140 for 6 with 3 overs to bowl. And Somerset need to get a couple of overs done in the next sort of 7 or 8 minutes. Yeah,
they got 8 minutes to bowl 2 overs, which 7 minutes now. The clock has just ticked over to 2010. Ben Green is going to be bowling to Tom Clark, who's on 17, 140 for 6 down the leg side. It could be a run out. Oh, and he's kicked and missed. I'm not sure if McAndrew would have been run out.
I'm not entirely sure how he missed.
All the football that they play, Somerset, before the start of every day's play, you'd have thought he must just. Let's have a look. Ooh, I think if he'd hit, he was gone.
He missed it by a fair margin.
He did. 141 for 6. And Nathan McAndrew, understandably enough, just taking his time. As Ben Green is in, bowls a Yorker.
Wide one, wide outside.
And it's just a single. Again, Green jogging back to his mark. As Gregory tosses in the ball as he goes to take up his position, fielding position at extra cover.
They definitely are trying to get a move on, aren't they? 6 minutes.
Third ball of the 18th over. It's Ben Green bowling, and this is short and pulled, and it's going to be safe and will be fielded by Tom Lallenby, and they'll come through for 2 runs. It was in the air for quite a long time, that shot, but no harm done. 144 for 6. Halfway through the 18th.
Tom Clark trying to act as the man to ramp up this innings in the latter stages.
Green to Clark, and this is pulled, and that will be one bounce into the safe hands of Will Smead out in the deep. So it's just a single. The ball is returned very quickly and delivered to the bowler.
It's like election night when the runners are trying to get
shows
in Sunderland when they're running around with the boxes.
Well, it just shows that you can bowl your overs quickly if you have to.
Exactly. Should try and speed it up in Test cricket. That's what I say.
It's here, yeah. Green in and bowls a slow ball outside the off stump. This is a wide. They can't afford to do that if you're trying to race through your overs. 146 for 6. Still got 2 balls of this over to be bowled, and well,
they should get through another one, I thought. But
Green in bowls, and this is a slower ball which completely deceives Nathan McAndrew, who's threw the shot far too early. And Green again jogging back to his mark as the seagulls circle. There are dozens and dozens of goals over the ground at the moment. Last ball then of the 18th. Green to McAndrew, and that is played back to Green, who will field it. It's another dot ball, so it wasn't a bad over that from Ben Green. 4, 5, 6 off it, including the wide. 146 for 6 with 2 overs to be bowled, and Somerset have got to get through this next over in around about 3 minutes if they're not going to pay the price of a slow over rate.
and
Which is done. You're not allowed to have as many fielders.
Yeah, you've got to have one more up inside the circle. So Lewis Gregory from the Cromwell Road end facing Tom Clark, who's on 21, and Clark tries to play that out into the legs, into the offside, but there's no run there.
Yeah, good bowling from Gregory, keeping it right up to the bat.
And if you think about the fielding from Somerset, I mean, we've seen a couple down here that has been well stopped. That's probably saved 2 or 3 runs.
They're a great fielding side.
And then you got the catch on the boundary rope. I mean, that could have gone for 6. Simpson stays in, of course. So Sussex could well end up being 10, 15 runs short of where they might have been otherwise, as this one is a big swing from Clark, which only hits him, and there's a appeal, but nothing doing from the umpire. But it's a dot ball nonetheless, important. They bowled well at the start of the innings and the final. The first 5 overs and the last 5 overs,
yeah,
really.
They've really dragged it back in these last few overs, which is what they did against Surrey and Essex as well.
Clark 21 not out. Gregory round the wicket, bowls, and that's outside off stump, but it's a wide. So what Sussex probably need is a no ball and a free hit, but
well, Gregory's your man.
I was teeing you up for that one.
He bowled any number of no balls in the county championship match here.
Gregory, he's round the wicket, bowls, and this time it's hit cleanly, but only to the man at long on. Craig Overton takes yet another catch out in the deep, and Sussex are slipping and sliding to probably a score which will be very difficult to defend. 147 for 7 now.
Will they alter the cut-off?
In the penultimate over. So Tom Clark goes, just shy of the score he made against Middlesex Thursday of last week, or 8 days ago, shall we say. Let's make it easy. Ollie Robinson comes to the, as if you couldn't tell from the announcer. Ollie Robinson comes to the crease for the final throws of this Sussex innings. There are 8 legal balls. No, tell a lie. There are 9 legal balls remaining of it, and Sussex are 147 for 7. So a few lusty blows, and it might get them up towards a total they'll be mildly happy with. But 2 lower order players at the crease as Robinson backs away and just clips that out into the offside for a single off his first ball. Nathan McAndrew at the other end.
Yeah, they were 130 33 for 4, so they've lost 3 wickets in the space of scoring 15 runs now.
Gregory, who's conceded just 2 runs from this over so far, comes in and bowls. It's a full one, and McAndrew does well just to dig it out and get it out into the leg side. They're going to come back for a second. Good running. So that brings up Sussex's 150 with 7 balls remaining of the innings. What are we going to see in that final over? That's the big question. Last ball of the 19th. To be bowled by Lewis Gregory. He comes in now, he's up to the wicket in bowls, and it's a full one driven down the ground. Now this is going to bisect the 2 fielders at long on and long off, and it's straight enough that it goes between them and goes for 4. So a vital boundary at the end of that over for Sussex, and it moves them on to 154 for 7.
Yeah, half volley from Gregory. He was looking for the Yorker again, just didn't quite get it right. But he's bowled well. He's gone for 2 for 40 in his 4 overs.
Neither McAndrew or Robinson needed a bat against Middlesex, but they made 3 and 6 against Gloucestershire. So McAndrew's already gone past that.
I think Somerset are going to pay the price. It's 2018 now.
They are a minute beyond their allotted time, which is why now they're not worried about how long they're taking. So let's have a look at the field. We have only got 3 men out, haven't we? Have we? No, we have got a 4th man out, haven't we? No, hang on a minute, I've miscounted. Was he moved?
No, I think it's just 3.
It is just the 3 out on the boundary now.
Got
man at long on.
Deep cover, 3rd man and long on, yeah. Meredith then to bowl the 20th over, 154 for 7. He's bowling to Ollie Robinson, who reaches for one outside the off stump, and don't think got anything on it. It's a dot ball, and I think Meredith will be targeting just inside the blue line. England
made 188 in their 20 overs against the West Indies up at Chesterley Street.
It was pushing the blue line, that last one. 5 deliveries remaining. Meredith tall, mulleted, mustachioed. He's in bowls. This is swung away over the top of Matt Henry for 4 runs. Matt Henry up inside the circle at mid-off. He was going for that wide line outside the off stump. Ollie Robinson was waiting for it, and it was a good length delivery, which Robinson swiped over the top of mid-off. So
Henry thought he was in business briefly, didn't he? But
he's not. If it had been Craig Overton, then it might have been a catch. But
if it had been Peter Crouch.
So 158 for 7. Meredith to Robinson. This is guided down to 3rd man. It should just be a single, as Will Smead sends in the return. 159 for 7. This is going to be close to the average first innings score here at Hove, which Steve Pittard has calculated at 163 over the lifetime of the T20 competition. 3 balls remaining.
Be quite something, wouldn't it? 22 years of competition, and Sussex end up getting that score exactly today.
It's Meredith to McAndrew. He's in and bowls, slower ball, and bowls him. A Yorker, in fact, and that's the 8th wicket. Good piece of bowling by Riley Meredith. 159 for 8. I said it was a slower ball. Just watching the replay.
Dragged on.
Yes, it was dragged on. It was a slow ball, and it was dragged on. Thick inside edge. And
so we'll
Somerset won't be complaining.
Tamal Mills striding to the crease.
He doesn't get to bat all that often, Tamal Mills, does he?
Nope, made one from 4 deliveries against Gloucestershire. Didn't bat against Middlesex.
He's played 200. This is his 240th game of T20 cricket, and in those 239 prior to this one, he's batted in just 56 of them.
And he's only going to get, he's going to get 1 ball, possibly 2.
Here's Meredith then to Tamal Mills, and he swings, and they're going to be as Coley Cadmore shies at the stumps and misses. Had he hit, then I think that Robinson might very well have been run out, but he didn't.
I think there were some people in the crowd disappointed there wasn't a second run on offer there, but they decided not to bother.
I think Robinson would probably have just about got there.
Last ball of the innings then.
160 for 8. It's going to be Meredith. Well, it's the last ball as long as it's not a wide or a no ball. Meredith to Robinson. He's in and bowls, and it is.
Is it going to be a wide?
No, it's going to be. It's not going to be a run out.
It's going to be a wide.
It is going to be a wide.
And they ran one as well.
And a run, so that's 2 runs. Meredith just.
That'll teach me for opening my mouth, won't it? Really.
Yes, well, Meredith not impressed because the batsman was moving around in his crease, but Nigel Long is the umpire, and it's 162 for 8. We've still got 1 ball remaining in the innings, and who knows how significant that wide might prove to be come the end of the evening. Here's Meredith then to Tamal Mills. He's there, bowls, it's driven, and it's 4 runs! 166 for 8. And Tamal Mills finishes with a fine offside shot through extra cover, timed beautifully, and 166 for 8. Somerset will need 167 in their 20 overs to maintain their unbeaten run.
Yeah, and fantastic shot from Mills to finish it all off there. You said he doesn't bat very often. That's only his. Well, that looks like. Oh no, hang on. Yeah, that's his 17th boundary in 240 matches of T20 cricket.
Well, it's very well. Those last. What was it, 6 runs?
Yeah, those last couple of balls could be very important because it effectively was off 1 ball, wasn't it?
It was.
So, just very quickly then, just to run you through the situation. Sussex finishing on 166 for 8. And, so Somerset are going to require 167 to win this one. We'll be back. Are you going to go with the other scores? Do you want to go through the other scores?
I can do the other scores. I was just going to say that I think it's it's just about even Steven. I would say I saw something the odds beforehand, and 52% were saying Somerset were going to win and 48% Sussex, and I think it's probably still around about 52 to 48. Let's have a quick look at the scores in the other southern group games. First of all, Glamorgan against Essex 183 for 8. Glamorgan going well in reply, 53 without loss in 6 overs. Surrey made 193 for 7 against Kent at Canterbury. Kent in reply 39 for 1 in 5. Gloucestershire in trouble again against Hampshire, 119 all out. They're having a terrible time of it, the defending champions. Hampshire yet to bat. In the Northern Group, Derbyshire Falcons 162 for 9 in their 20 overs. Notts Outlaws have yet to bat. Yorkshire made 164 for 7 against the Bears. And Durham 66 for 2, replying to Leicestershire Foxes 193 for 8. So that's just about even Steven as well. And finally, the Northamptonshire Steelbacks have beaten the Worcestershire Rapids. Northants made 190 for 5. The Worcester Rapids 159 all out. Here, Somerset will need 167.
Yes, Sussex 166 for 8 in their 20 overs. John Simpson top scoring with 58. The next best, Allsop and Clark, the two of the Toms with 23 and 21. And the Somerset bowling, well, led by really my Matt Henry, 3 for 29. Craig Overton bowled really economically, 1 for 17 from his 4. And Riley Meredith and Lewis Gregory chipping in with 2 apiece as well, but slightly more expensive. So yes, we'll be back in a few minutes' time then for that Sussex run chase.
Weak website? It could be a superstar. We do A/B testing, personalisation, social proof, product recommendations, baseline analysis to bring your bottom line over the line. Visit webtrends-optimise.com or call 0333 444 5502 today.
Are you ready? Okay, Adam, is he going to do it? Okay. Okay, well, let's find out. Okay, Lisa, take it away. Adam's one and only chance to go home with that £50 voucher. 3, 2, 1. Load that ball. Hello, hello. He's under it. He's got a chance. Oh! He did all the hard work. He positioned himself perfectly. Let's give that battle a go. Round of applause for Adam. Okay, Benji, you're next, mate. Position yourself where you like it. Wherever you like. Lisa, are you ready? Okay, Benji, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, load that ball. Catch that. Catch. He's under it. Plays for the academy. Can we get back to Queen? Can we get back to Queen? Now you say you're confident. The future of Sussex cricket is in good hands. Which age group do you play in? How old are you? He's 10, and you've got a future in that game, and you batter a bowler. Good stuff, and you're also a great fielder. £50 ounce of voucher from Keegan. Give it up for Benji! Look out for him here in the first set of Benji ground. No pressure there. How are you feeling? Okay, and you agree with yourself. Friendly cricket ball, everybody. There you go. Right, come over here. Just remind me your name. It's Finley Hall, everybody. Finley Hall from third. Lisa, they're in a good one. 3, 2, 1. It's in the air. Go on, Finley. Yes, Finley. Yes! Oh! Lisa, have you got one more ball? Come on then, Finley. Let's give it a touch. That's the road for Finley. 3, 2, 1. Come on, Finley. You've got this. Finley, great effort. Well, there we go. 1 out of 3 is the bag. Did you enjoy Catch the Catch, sponsored by West Central? Good stuff. Well, we'll be back with more of that at every home game. In the meantime, we've got 20 overs of action still to go. Have the Sharks got this? Here we go. You heard it here first. From the Webtrends Optimise Sharks stand. Coming up next, it's the Chase, and the Sharks will be defending that title.
Welcome back to Hove for this T20 Blast match, the third of the season for both teams, between Sussex Sharks and Somerset, on the BBC Sport website and app, courtesy of BBC Radio Sussex, myself Andrew Rayburn and Anthony Gibson from BBC Radio Somerset. And Anthony, your thoughts on that at the halfway stage? Sussex 166 for 8.
Yeah, Somerset started very well, getting 30 for 3 Sussex were, and then John Simpson took the game by the scruff of the neck and looked to be carrying Sussex to a really challenging total. And Somerset again in the middle overs pulled it back well, but in having to rush their overs towards the end in order to avoid the penalty for a slow over rate, bowling just got a little bit ragged, and in the end I think Sussex got maybe 10 or 15 more runs than Somerset would have liked. I still think it's just about even Steven, 167. Somerset have got a good strong attacking hard-hitting batting lineup, but could be anybody's game.
I'm happy for you to take the first over, Anthony.
Ollie Robinson it is. He's bowling to Will Smeed. He's in and bowls. Smeed will pick up 4 runs, I think, down to the third man boundary, just guiding that. A little bit of width from Ollie Robinson. Will Smeed, who's been in pretty good form, not at 80 against Essex at the weekend.
35 against Surrey as well. 15 fours, 2 sixes in his couple of innings so far.
4 without loss. Then we just had the 1 ball. Robinson to Smeed. There's a slip in and I think about a single, but it's not there as that's played out into the onside. There we go. Light beginning to fade. The floodlights shining out brightly. Goals still circling, hopefully.
Yeah, you can start to see the shadows now, can't you? Formed by the floodlights.
Yep, star shadows. Here's Robinson in, bowls to Smeed, who drives this beautifully away through the offside. Lovely shot from Will Smeed. Timed that beautifully. Didn't try and hit it too hard. Just transferred his weight, using the pace of the ball. And it wasn't far away from extra cover, but had no chance. Really classy shot that from Will Smeed. 8 without loss.
A really promising start for Somerset. Ollie Robinson normally prides himself on his economy rates up top.
Robinson to Smeed. Oh, he bowled! Knocked his off stump out of the ground, brought one back into Will Smeed, and well, Robinson absolutely elated, being engulfed by his Sussex teammates, and well they might, because that's a big breakthrough for Sussex, and well, Will Smeed leaving a big gap between bat and pad, and the ball went through it and knocked over the off stump. So good start for Sussex. 8 for 1, Smeed gone. 4-4, wicket.
Well, I mentioned that Robinson normally likes to keep it economical up front. I'm sure he would have paid those 8 runs just to get the wicket of Will Smeed. And yep. Was there a bit of inside edge on it as well?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just he left a
gaping
not so much
hole.
a gate as a barn door between his bat and his pad.
Sussex off to a good start with the wicket of Will Smeed. Of course, they bowled Gloucestershire out cheaply.
Well, it's Tom Kohler-Cadmore is the new batsman, and he lets that go through outside the off stump. Coda Cadmore, who won the game for Somerset here a couple of years ago with innings of 70 odd. But Somerset will need one of their big players to stand up here. Coda Cadmore or Tom Lammonby, who's out there at the moment. Tom Abel still to come. Lewis Gregory, of course.
A lot of good batting at that Somerset side.
And a lot of good bowling in the Sussex side. Not least this man with ball in hand, Ollie Robinson, in and bowls to Coda Cadmore, who doesn't time that. And well, an eventful first over, 2 boundaries to Will Smeed. Then he had his off stump knocked out, and at the end of it, probably Sussex, the happier of the two sides, 8 for 1.
Yes, Ollie Robinson, that wicket being shown on the big screen around the ground. Patrons still filing back in to their seats after grabbing some refreshments. Brad Curry is going to open the bowling from the other end for Sussex. Took a phenomenal catch in a T20 match a couple of years ago. As ball in hand, and he'll be bowling to Lammonby, and he'll be bowling with Simpson stood up to the stumps, left arm over, and Lammonby tries to force that away in the offside. He calls for 2, and he's going to get 2. Big booming shout from Lammonby, and he gets 2 runs. Curry bowling round the wicket to Lammonby. Tried to cramp him for room. You mentioned that earlier, didn't you, about bowling round the wicket to the left-hander, trying not to give him too much room. But Lammonby still found a way to get it, force the ball out into the offside. Curry in again, left arm over the wicket, bowls down the leg side. Now, is there anything on that pad? Possibly. It's going to run down towards the boundary. The ball is going to win the race. It's 4 runs. So, yeah, left armer to left-hander. And if you stray, that could be what happens.
Yeah, nice little inside edge for Tom Lammonby.
Yeah, he managed to flicked it. In fact, I'd almost call that a decent shot, actually. Get the face of the bat, possibly. But close the face. So, the left armer, Curry, over the wicket. And bowls. And then it's cut away out to the deep. Should only be a single. Once again, that phrase. Thought about 2. Decided against it. Sort of warm, well, semi-warm, tepid round of applause for the fielding. More for the throw, possibly, than anything else.
Sweeping on the
good question. I can't really. I've got the now the lights are off. I've got the glare of the outs of what's in here on my window, so I can't really see who's out there.
He's got some very natty blue cricket shoes on. And a new bat has been brought out for Tom Coda Cadmore.
He's not been out there that long. He's faced 2 balls with it. So, left arm over from Brad Curry. Eventually, Coda Cadmore just prodding the wicket. And yes, now he's ready. He's in position to face the left arm of Curry. Bowls, it's edged, and it's going to beat the short third man fielder and go to the boundary for 4.
Now, if there'd been a slip there.
Yeah, genuine edge, wasn't it?
It was.
And expensive over this one for Sussex, and a good one for Somerset thus far. 11 from it.
A little bit of width, which allowed, wasn't quite a free hit because you've got a short third man in Daniel Hughes, but just needed to get something on that. It was going to fly down to the third man boundary.
Curry comes bounding in. Bowls, dabbed into the offside towards Hughes at short third man. They've taken a single. And move on to 20 for 1. Somerset chasing 167.
Tom Lammonby batted very nicely at Chelmsford for 36. He and Will Smeed added 96 for the first wicket against against Essex, just 8 here this evening.
In comes Curry, bowls, and that hit from Lammerby is straight to the fielder at mid-off, no run. So the end of that over, Somerset 20 for 1.
Yeah, good over. That leg glide from Lammerby was actually giving us 4 leg byes.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was. I thought he hit the bat, I must say, but umpire Mark Newell signalling it as leg byes.
Tell you, it would be miffed, wouldn't you, if you knew you hit it and he'd given it as leg byes. You think, oh, that's 4 runs I've missed out on there.
So it's Robinson to Kohler Cadmore. He's in and bowls. And this is massive. This is swung away over the top of the hospitality area and out. No, it's not out of the ground. It's because the ball I thought it had gone out of the ground. But big 6 from Tom
Can't
Kohler
have been far
Cadmore.
off. No. Houses away to our right will be under threat if that goes any further.
He hit a massive shot at Chelmsford on Sunday that did go out of the ground and was retrieved a day or so later by someone. As he's pushing this into the onside as a shy at the stumps. That was a risky single that for Kohler Cadmore because he was back on his stumps when he set off. It wasn't as if he was tipping and running.
Be very difficult for us to tell.
Back on his stumps and just it would have been very tight. Would have been very tight. They're safely home. 27 for 1 in the 3rd over. Kohler Cadmore already on to 12 from just 6 deliveries. Tom Lammerby on strike. Robinson going around the wicket to the left-hander, and Lammerby turns this nicely away into the onside. Should be 2 runs. No, they're just going to settle for the single. So I think is that James Cole's out there?
Yes, number 30 on his back.
28 for 1 in the 3rd over, halfway through it. As the light begins to fade, but it's blue sky over the ground at the moment. Clouds scudding quickly across the sky on this strong, blustery wind. Yorker, which is dug out by Kohler Cadmore.
It's actually got better, hasn't it, as the evening has progressed? Those clouds have dispersed slightly.
Forecast for tomorrow isn't great. Thundery showers for the south of England.
Fortunately, Sunday, when we've got double header for Sussex against Glamorgan, women's and men's match, Sunday weather looks pretty good so far.
Robinson in and bowls to Kohler Cadmore, who drives that down the ground. Not sure that that was entirely what he was intending.
No, it looked to me like he was trying to whip that away through mid-wicket and maybe got a leading edge, but a very healthy leading edge on it.
It's a useful bat that he's got in his hands, I think.
Yeah.
Just opening the face on it. I'm not sure quite what he was trying to do, but he's brought in 4 runs. 32 for 1. It's high-risk cricket, this from Tom Kohler Cadmore. It's the way he plays. Robinson in and bowls. And this is huge again.
That's going to be 6 more.
Away over straight mid-wicket for a massive 6. That's 2 6s in the over. 7, 8, 12, 18 runs off that Ollie Robinson over. Somerset 38 for 1 and Kohler Cadmore 22 from 9 deliveries.
Wow. Yeah, very chastening over from an Ollie Robinson perspective. And he's not necessarily used to taking this sort of punishment in the shortest form of the game.
Well, that was in the slot.
Yes, and obviously if you bowl there, it is likely to disappear.
Here we come.
We're going to see the captain. We're going to get some fast left arm from the experienced former England T20 international Tamar Mills. Lammonby just taking guard.
Hasn't had much of the strike, Tom Lammonby.
No, was that 5 deliveries, 4 runs? Looks around at the field. Still in the power play, of course, so only 2 men out. One's at third man, one's at deep backward square leg as Mills comes in. It's short, it's going to go out towards square leg, but it's going to be in front of square and it's going to be 4. That was on a length and pulled away by Lammonby. Doesn't matter how much of the strike you faced. That was hittable and it got the treatment. Another boundary to Somerset and they are motoring.
Yeah, that's the trouble with bowling pace on.
Yeah,
if you don't quite get it right.
We saw more success from Somerset with pace off, didn't we?
Well, except Craig Overton, who bowled much as he does in county championship cricket.
As Mills comes in to bowl, it's shorter this time and ducked underneath it. Lammonby had nothing to do with that.
Good bouncer that was, very good bouncer.
And good to how he got out of the way of it as well.
Yeah.
So
he may be getting on a bit, Timar Mills, but he can still get it down there, can't he?
This is testimonial year, Timar Mills.
He came and did a bit of commentary with us when self and Adrian during the.
Yes, I remember listening to that
during the county championship match.
Yeah, in comes Mills, the Sussex skipper, bowls fuller this time, slower, and guided down by Lammonby to third man. He'll pick up a single. Moves on to 9. Yes, because it was at the point where I think he was taking Adrian through the events that he's got on during his testimonial year.
That's right.
Which Adrian has been a part. Adrian Harms, my BBC Sussex colleague. He's away at the moment, which is why I'm stepping in for him. I know you miss him already, but unfortunately you've got me again on Sunday. So if you want to avoid that, go to the game.
This is going to be interesting. Is Cola Cadmore going to treat Timar Mills with respect?
Well, let's see as Mills comes in round the wicket, bowls. It's into the pitch and into the body of Cola Cadmore, who gets it away for a single.
He's a bit of a run-out candidate, is Tom Cola Cadmore. He's not the quickest between the wickets by any means.
Well, the way that he's setting this up, he's trying to do it with boundaries, really. 23 off 10, 44 for 1, chasing 167, which is what the Sussex Sharks posted in their 20 overs. As Timar Mills comes in and bowls, it's driven brilliantly through the offside for 4 runs, through the covers. That's a superb shot from Lammonby.
It's in the air, but lovely shot.
Saw the gap, picked it, and that was 4 from the minute it left the bat, and Somerset are making hay in this power play.
Just giving himself room, Tom Lammonby, clearing the front foot, clearing the front leg, in his case the right leg because he's a left-hander.
We've got one more ball of this 4th over and Somerset are 48 for 1. Mills is at the top of his mark. Comes running in, he's up to the wicket now, he bowls and this one's slashed away by Lammonby and that's going to be 4 more. Somerset move past 50 at the end of the 4th over as they look to hunt down this Sussex total of 166, which is looking under severe danger already.
Well, they've got the required rate down to just over 7 runs and over, which is going to give Sussex a problem unless they can start taking wickets, because you can keep the score ticking over at 6 or 7 runs and over just by working the ball around. You don't have to go for the big shots.
Mind you always felt with this Somerset bowling attack that batting lineup that you can see Nathan McAndrew come on to bowl in a minute, but that Sussex would need to take 10 wickets rather than restrict Somerset in that 20 overs. It would have been very difficult, you would feel. So wickets are still the order of the day. Here's McAndrew.
He's bowling to Cola Cadmore, who pulls this and will not get a run as it goes to James Coles at mid-wicket. We've got short third man with short fine leg on the 45, mid wicket, mid on, mid off, extra cover, 2 men, backward point and short third man, and sweepers on either side as McAndrew's into. I thought he bowled him.
The crowd certainly did, but
it was a swing and a miss from.
Came back off his pad, I think.
Kohler Cadmore. It was the excitement in the crowd that.
You can have a crowd catch. I didn't realise you could have a crowd bowled.
Inside edge onto his pad. It was an ambitious shot from Kohler Cadmore, who, as I say, is not hanging around. He rehearses the shot. It's a dot ball. Much better over this for Sussex. McAndrew to Kohler Cadmore, who swings and misses again. Slower ball that time. So dot 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 at the start of this 5th over.
Nathan McAndrew, wicketless against Middlesex, went for 8 and over. Took 1 for 9 against Gloucestershire from 2 overs.
Crowd have come to life. What with the sixes and the near misses. McAndrew in bowls, and this is driven down the ground and very well stopped by Timar Mills from mid-off. That was travelling, that shot from Kohler Cadmore. He saved his side 3 runs there, did Timar Mills. 53 for 1. Kohler Cadmore on to 24. Left-hand, right-hand combination for Somerset, which of course helps.
Be turning 33 this year, Tamar Mills, in August.
Yeah, it's such a shame he's had these back problems, so that he can't really play any form of the game other than 20 over cricket. McAndrew to Lammonby, who scoops this away down 2, fine leg 4, 6.
Blimey, what a shot that is. That's the first one we've seen of those, isn't it? This match.
And he timed it to perfection, and McAndrew's not slow either. He went right across his stumps, and well, it wasn't so much as a scoop as a sort of reverse lap almost.
Well, and I'm amazed it went for 6, but it's I know they're short boundaries, but yeah, it just didn't seem to be much power in it, but.
59 for 1 as McAndrew's in and bowls to Lammonby, who hammers this into the offside, and it's fielded by James Coles at extra cover. So just the 7 runs from that over from Nathan McAndrew, but Somerset still going pretty well. 59 for 1 after 5 overs.
Yeah, I think it sums up Somerset's start when you can say just the 7 runs from that over. Sussex need to pull it back even further, of course, if they're to put Somerset's batters under any pressure, because they're going at over 11 at the moment and over. 59 for 1 off of 5. Ollie Robinson switching ends. Now to the Cromwell Road end. He started with his first couple of overs up the hill at the C end, and he's now coming in from the Cromwell Road end. And he comes and bowls, and that's driven no run straight to a fielder by Kohler Cadmore.
2 Yorkshiremen in opposition here, Robinson and Kohler Cadmore.
Indeed. We had Australia versus New Zealand a moment ago. Lots of battles within battles. Kohler Cadmore waiting to face Ollie Robinson. He's up to the wicket, he bowls it short, and it's pulled by Kohler Cadmore, and that'll be 4.
Not a very good delivery.
It's sat up. Kohler Cadmore was onto it like a flash, pulled it down towards long leg for 4 runs.
I don't think he's enjoying this much, Ollie Robinson.
No, he's being carted around 1 for 30 thus far, and he's in his 3rd over. He's there to pick up wickets, and Sussex desperately need one. Robinson comes into bowl to Kohler Cadmore, who's bottom edged that past the wicketkeeper for 4 more runs.
Well, luck's with him at the moment.
Fortune favours the brave, and Tom Kohler Cadmore is the bravest one out there at the moment. He's taking shots on. and it's paying off handsomely for him. 32 off of 17. Somerset 67 for 1.
Just need exactly 100.
Indeed, 100 from 14 and a half overs.
87 deliveries.
7 and over. Just under. As Robinson comes in and bowls, and this time it's on leg stump and turned away by Kohler Cadmore, but won't beat the inner ring, so a bit of frustration for him there.
Well, he did this 2 years ago here, Tom Kohler Cadmore. Took the game away from Sussex.
Both sides, 2 wins from 2. Kohler Cadmore 32 not out here. Lammonby at the other end 23 not out. That's tried to come down the pitch and steer it through mid-off, but no run. So a good comeback from Ollie Robinson after those back-to-back boundaries. The second one slightly streaky. But, 2 dots after that. 8 off this over. But yep, Sussex desperately need a breakthrough. Somerset will be quite happy, as they are, to keep ticking along as Robinson comes in and bowls. It's Fuller, and it's played out by Kohler Cadmore through mid-wicket for a single, so he'll keep the strike at the end of the over, at the end of the 6th over, the end of the power play, and Somerset are 68 for 1.
And the Sharks were 36 for 3.
Therein lies the difference.
Duckworth Lewis saying 49. I suspect that's at the end of the next over, so Somerset well ahead of the
yes,
Duckworth Lewis Stern par. Well, not that weather's likely to come into it, but it's always a useful yardstick by which to judge a side's progress.
Although I think we don't need mathematicians to necessarily say that Somerset are well ahead of the game at the moment.
Jamal Mills going to come into the attack from the C end, bowled his previous over from the Cromwell Road end. Seems to be more gulls than ever over the ground. He's bowling to Kohler Cadmore, who's on 33. He's in and bowls, and Kohler Cadmore plays this sweetly away through the offside, but it's only going to be a single.
There's 5 men out on the boundary.
Harrison Ward out there.
4 men inside now. There's going to be another change in field for Lammonby. They've recognised, I think, Kohler Cadmore needs greater protection on the boundary.
It's Jamal Mills to Tom Lammonby. He's in and bowls down the leg side, slower ball, and Lammonby waits for it. And again, Ward will field, this time out at deep square leg.
This is what you were saying, Anthony, isn't it, about the fact that the run rate now means that they can, especially now the power play is over, the first power play is over and Sussex has spread the field a bit, that they can milk the singles and just keep ticking things over.
Wait for the bad ball. Just need well, a boundary and over would be ideal, but even a boundary every other over would do. Mills in bowls to Kohler Cadmore, who drives this back past Jamal Mills, who got a hand on it. Don't think it would have gone for 4 in any case. They take the single, 71 for 1 in the 7th over.
I think Mills will fancy himself that he's bowled better than his figures so far would suggest.
He's gone for 17 so far in 1.5 overs. But just 3 singles in this over so far. He's bowling to Lammonby, who steers this down to third man. Picks up a single. Batted very nicely at Chelmsford. Came into the side for Somerset, replacing Tom Banton on Sunday. Tom Banton with England. And he's done so well, Tom Lammonby. He's going to give Somerset a bit of a selection problem. Tom Banton would normally open the innings with Will Smead, but I think it's a good argument for having a left-hand, right-hand combination, and perhaps Lammonby will keep his place and Banton move down the order. We will see. It's Mills to Cola Cadmore, who hits this hard in through the offside for 4 runs. Goodness me, he timed that. It was in the air for quite a long time, but it was going like a shell. And well, you can't afford to give Cola Cadmore any width, and that's precisely what Timar Mills did then. So what had been a respectable over has now gone for 8, with still a ball to come. 76 for 1. 91 more Somerset need. And they've got 13 overs and 1 ball in which to get them, with 9 wickets in hand. Mills going around the wicket this time to Cola Cadmore, who swings and misses, and it's taken by John Simpson. It's the end of the over. It's 76 for 1. That's 7 overs have gone, so Somerset going along at just fractionally under 11 runs an over. They need another 24 and 67, 81 runs and 91 runs to win. 91 runs to win.
West Indies are 54 for 2 at the end of the 8th over and replied to England's 88 for 6 at Chesterley Street. Jack Carson, we're going to see a bit of spin now from the Cromwell Road end. Carson comes into bowl, and Lammonby has managed to chip that over the infield out towards the cover boundary. It's going to be fielded, and there'll be 2 runs there. Carson, as I mentioned earlier, playing just the 1 match so far, didn't play against Middlesex. He's a tall man, right arm round the wicket to the left-hander, and this time just got it past the diving fielder.
Allsop, I think.
Yeah, chance for a catch, but just out of Tom Allsop's reach in the cover region. And now they are going to spread the field out a bit more for Cola Cadmore once again. Allsop's now going to go out to deep extra cover. Got 3 fielders gathered in the offside, quite close in, and then a straight delivery which hasn't helped, and Carson gets Cola Cadmore back off strike.
Intelligent batting that from Tom Cola Cadmore. I was just going to say, if he's got any sense, he'll just wait for the bad ball to come along rather than trying to take down Carson.
Lammonby facing up to Carson. Carson's in, he bowls, it's outside the off stump, and Lammonby plays it out to the point boundary, and there's going to be a single. You can hear seagulls whistling past our effects mic. 81 for 1 the Somerset score at the moment, chasing 167 to win as Carson comes in and bowls, turned off his legs by Cola Cadmore. That'll be another single.
Yep, they're doing precisely what I suggested they ought to do, which is just milking the bowling. They only need 7 runs and over.
Yep, that's the precise required run rate as it stands, and they've got 7 off this over with 1 ball to come as Carson comes in and bowls, driven back to the bowler by Lammonby. So at the end of that over, 7 from it, 82 for 1 Somerset, and they are well in control of this match.
Yep, nearly halfway there, and still with 12 overs to go. 2 batsmen confer, and we're going to have James Coles is going to bowl, so we've got spin from both ends, which is interesting. Somerset only included 1 over of spin from Lewis Goldsworthy. I think that over went for 17. James Coles, quite a daunting prospect, bowling to Tom Cola Cadmore in this mood. 41 from 26 deliveries. Field is spread as much as it's allowed to be in 20 over cricket. And it's Coles to Cola Cadmore. Short, and that's gone miles.
That is huge.
Absolutely miles. That's out of the ground and far away.
I'll tell you what, there'll be a few people with cars parked down that end who will be a little bit concerned now.
That's an enormous hit from Tom Cola Cadmore. 88 for 1.
I mean, you said that the field was spread as far as it could be in T20 cricket. You needed somebody
50.
Down at the entrance gate for that one.
It's absolutely enormous. I think we're going to have another ball. That's the. It's one of the biggest hits I've seen here, I think.
Also, can I just point out, Tom Cola Cadmore, of course, had his bat replaced after 2 deliveries. He's going to enjoy this bat. This is going to be his favourite now.
Yes. I'm just watching the replay of it, and it's absolutely in the slot.
Well, we've got a ball. It won't be the ball, because that is
long gone. Somebody will find it as a souvenir, no doubt. Coles then to Cola Cadmore. Short, and Cola Cadmore punches it into the offside. And Harrison Ward, who's sweeping on the cover boundary, will field. 89 for 1. Cola Cadmore on to 48. Coles is going to bowl to the left-handed Lammonby. He's there and bowls. Lammonby on the back foot, pulling this into the onside. Trots through for another easy single. Moves on to 30. These two have added 82 now in just about 8 overs. Exactly 8 overs, in fact. Coles to Cola Cadmore, who won't get a run this time as he runs it down to short third man.
Yes, when Sussex took that wicket in the first over, they might have thought they were in business, but since then, these two have absolutely bludgeoned the bowling.
Coles in and bowls outside the off stump. That will be a wide, a long way outside the off stump. Trying to hide the ball outside the off stump is James Coles. 91 for 1. Tries again, and swing and a miss this time from Cola Cadmore.
Yeah,
James Coles.
Attempted drive and missed it. It was Fuller.
He's in bowls short, and Cola Cadmore content just to play a defensive shot up the onside of the pitch. So 6, 7, 8, 9 runs from that over, and score 91 for 1. We've had 9 overs, 11 remain, and in those 11 overs, Somerset need to score another 76 runs at a rate of 6.9 runs per over.
Sussex desperately need wickets. They need a cluster of them.
Yeah, it's hard to see how Sussex can win now without bowling Somerset out.
Oh, absolutely. I think probably that was likely to be the case from the word go. As Carson comes in to bowl, is down the ground from Lammonby. Didn't really time it, and you get a single to the man at long on. And he moves on to 31, and Somerset to 92 for 1. Carson waits, Mills directing traffic. Very much now a Hove evening with the floodlights shining on this ground as Carson comes in and bowls. Cola Cadmore drives down the ground. It's just going to be a single to long on. He moves on to 49. And Somerset to 93 for 1.
Yeah, they're not really putting any pressure on the fielders, these two. They're just knocking it around and trotting through for the singles.
Playing no risk cricket, which is what they can afford to do now. Carson comes in and bowls, and saying that, Lammonby has swung that high, and has that gone all the way? No, it's one bounce for 4. Through the mid-wicket region to the empty space, the vacant space out in the deep.
Not his most elegant shot.
Who needs elegance when you're when you're dominating the bowling? As Lammonby waits for Carson. It's Fuller. It's spun high up in the air. This should be caught. And is. So Lammonby goes to 35. Sussex have a breakthrough. Is it too little too late, or is it the start of the comeback? We'll wait and see. But either way, Jack Carson has a wicket. Tom Lammonby goes to 35. That was... He backed away and he chipped it high in the air. And it was a comfortable catch. Although, having said that, is any catch up in the, with the floodlights all around comfortable. But Sussex have their second wicket.
Yeah, he just got a little bit too greedy there, Tom Lammonby. Made loads of room for himself outside the... going down outside the leg stump to make space for himself on the offside, and perhaps just overdid it. And Tom Abel, ideal man for this situation. Good player of spin, good at knocking it around.
James Coles took the catch. I've managed to take a bit off the table, but not a chunk off the table, but a little bit of the paintwork off the table, which is my chair accidentally caught it.
Yeah. A wall panel that's threatening to fall.
Yeah.
Fall onto the commentary position as well.
Still, we'll
get the impression that the media centre here at Hove is falling to pieces.
As Carson comes in to bowl, and there's a big appeal for LBW. The crowd are up for it, but the umpire said no. Carson went up. Not too many of the fielders, I don't think. Certainly the crowd went up. Nothing given. I think they go up for anything right now. Tom Abel out in the middle.
Not a bad shout. Don't know whether he got an inside edge on it.
Carson comes into bowl. Abel down the pitch, but he's managed to skew that off the inside edge for a single. So an over that has cost 7 runs, but has presented Sussex with an opportunity possibly to get back into this with a wicket. The wicket of Tom Lammonby. They need to remove Kohler Cadmore, you feel, and make Tom Abel's stay at the crease a short one, because this Somerset batting lineup is still very, very dangerous.
It is. I mean, they bat down to number 9, really. Lewis Goldsworthy coming in at number 9, and then Matt Henry and Riley Meredith. But Somerset won't want to have Lewis Goldsworthy involved in this run chase. James Cole's going to bowl another over. It's driven nicely by Tom Abel to long off, and fielded by Brad Curry. 99 for 2. Tom Kohler Cadmore on 49. As Coles bowls to him, and he drives that into the offside. There should be just the single, and that is Tom Kohler Cadmore's 50. Rapturous applause around the ground.
Yeah,
well, there is a ripple of applause.
I think they've started to notice.
It's not as bad as Chelmsford here at Hove.
Well, they've put the wrong graphic up on the scoreboard. That's come up as 100. Oh, it's 100 for Somerset,
it's
right?
100 for Somerset and 50 for Kohler Cadmore.
A double.
Coles is bowling short and quicker, and Tom Abel just a little bit late on the shot there, as he was looking to run that down to third man. Came off the bottom edge.
A double ripple of applause then for the 50 and the 100.
100 for 2. Coles bowls, and Abel drives, and that's just going to be a single, as Curry again fields down at long off. Beautifully struck by Tom Abel. Inside out off drive.
Uppish.
One of his signature shots. 101 for 2. Coles to Kohler Cadmore, who drives this into the offside. No, there won't be 2. Harrison Ward is onto it. He's pretty quick out there in his blue cricket shoes. Fielding in front of the pavilion. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's
the Spen-Karma Pavilion.
Spen-Karma Pavilion. This is driven again down the ground by Abel for another single. And that's the end of uneventful over. 103 for 2 at the end of it. 5 runs from it, all in singles. And Somerset need another 65 runs to win with 55 balls remaining and 8 wickets in hand. And for the first time in this campaign, the strains of Sweet Caroline ring out across the county ground at Hove.
Yeah, and it's a little bit like a football team keeping the ball, isn't it, at the moment? They're winning comfortably. As we're going to see Carson come in and bowl it short and attempted hoik away through the leg side by Abel. He's going to get a single. But yeah, there's no sort of real desire from the Somerset's perspective to put anything at risk. And they're just keeping the ball, as it were. Not quite in the corner flag yet, but they are certainly just looking to do things at their pace. They're looking to own the space. Kola Cadmore is certainly owning this game at the moment. He sweeps now. There's a big appeal for LBW, but he's not going to be given out. In fact, I think that appeal was kind of aborted halfway through by Carson.
He's down on his haunches, is Kola Cadmore. I don't know whether that took him in a... It's well outside the leg stump. It's a very optimistic appeal, but whether he's just damaged himself, I don't know. But he's down on his knees.
That actually on the second replay, it's slowed right down. It's slightly closer. I think bouncing over is the likelihood. Well, there's a couple of Sussex fielders stretching as well, so there's players. I think certainly bouncing over is the likelihood for that LBW, but he's up on his feet now. Kola Cadmore and facing Carson again. That one shorter again and whipped away, and that'll be 4 more, will it? Yes, it beats the diving fielder. Whipped away with speed and pace and accuracy, and Kola Cadmore, who is
suffering
but looking incredibly fluent with it.
You wouldn't have thought it from the way he hit that shot. He obviously is in quite a lot of pain.
And he moves on to 55. Kola Cadmore trying to see his team through to a 3rd victory in a row, and this time he dead bats that one back up the pitch from Carson. Carson in off a few strides, bowls, that one keeps a little bit lower, now they go up, but it's down the leg side with a wide, so clearly didn't touch it at all. I'm not sure what they were appealing for.
Well,
there.
It was good work from John Simpson.
Oh, was that the start stump? Yeah, he took the bails off, I see.
Good work from John Simpson, it was.
He went down, didn't he, Carson, as if he was appealing for LBW? He was looking, because he was looking at the... Anyway, he's bowling now, and it's a sweep from Kola Cadmore, which is going to go for 4, is it? No, brilliantly fielded. Brilliantly fielded there by Harrison Ward down at deep backward square leg. Keeps them down to 2. Firm sweep.
I think that's just about the best piece of fielding in the game so far. And there have been some brilliant fielding from Somerset as well. Catch that Will Smead took.
In comes Carson, bowls and played out into the leg side by Kola Cadmore. That'll just be a single. 58 now for him.
Yeah, they're just showing the replay of that on the screen. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 runs from that over. And 111 for 2. And Kola Cadmore still in a certain amount of difficulty. But he won't want to.
He's back on his haunches again, isn't he? He's just received something, is he, from the dugout? Someone's gone scrambling back there.
Whether he took a.
Has he asked for another box? Maybe has he?
I hope he's not too badly injured, because at the moment he's favourite to be my interviewee of the day. He's very good.
He might have a high voice when he's doing it.
It's the new over in and bowls, and this is dropped. at backward point. It was hit very hard. Nathan McAndrew, the bowler, and I'm not sure who that is at backward. I think it's James Coles, isn't it? It went very quickly.
A ball magnet, Coles, isn't he?
To him, and he couldn't hold on. They took the single, 113 for 2. Very nearly the end of Tom Kohler-Cadmore, who's still in a certain amount of difficulty, wandering around. A little bit agitated. Field changes for Tom Abel. Abel, who's just come in, 5 from 7. Kohler-Cadmore 59 from 40. McAndrew in bowls to Abel, who won't get a run this time. The sky's now dark above the county ground here at Hove. Floodlights shining out brightly, just reflecting on the windows of the flats on the far end of the ground, the top end, the Cromwell Road end. Crowd haven't given this up by any means at all. It's McAndrew to Abel, short and down the leg side, and that's a wide. It's a fairly obvious wide.
Yes, no one appealed, and the crowd thought that they were going to have a catch there, but
I suppose you could call it a play and a miss, because Tom Abel was trying to swing it away, but nowhere near it, in fact. McAndrew in his second over.
not seen much of the strike so far, Abel, has he?
No. McAndrew in and bowls, and Abel cuts this away through the offside. It'll just be a single as Harrison Ward quickly across. 115 rather for 2. So 52 more Somerset need in 7.5 overs. McAndrew to Kohler-Cadmore. That's outside the off stump, and it's a wide. 116 for 2. Nigel Long signalling the wide. His silvery locks just protruding from under his umpire's baseball cap. McAndrew to Abel. Abel plays this into the offside, into a gap, and they take a comfortable... Kohler-Cadmore rather takes a comfortable single. 117 for 2 in the 13th over. 167 the target. Somerset are going to have to do something pretty wrong not to win this game from here. But with cricket, you can never tell. McAndrew to Abel.
Oh, hello.
That's 6. That's a huge hit from Tom Abel. That is out of the ground as well. That's another new ball, please. And 123 for 2. Pick-up shot from Tom Abel. He's not known for his big hitting, but the ball is there. He's a beautiful timer of the cricket ball. And takes him on to 12.
Someone's running something out.
Yes, I think that
Oh,
was
that's
out.
another ball, sorry, yes.
Yeah, that was out of the ground.
I tell you what, the way these two are going, I think the umpire might as well just keep another few balls on them. Been rolled on the ground to McAndrew, who flicks it up with his foot and then drops it.
Sam Fender ringing out across the
Yes.
ground.
17 going under, I think, and maybe Sussex are going under as well.
McAndrew in and bowls, and Abel cuts.
Oh,
it's a
good
very
stop.
good stop. That backward point by, I presume,
James Coles.
that is James Coles.
That is a
They take
cracker.
the single, 124 for 2. So 43 more are needed in 7 overs, which is just about 6 runs an over.
So a runner ball is the task for Somerset from here on in. Tamal Mills has got ball in hand. The ball from the Cromwell Road end. The skipper. And he's going to bowl to Tom Abel, who's on 13 after that maximum a moment ago. Tamal Mills, he's in, he bowls it short, cut away by Abel, out towards the extra cover boundary for 4 more. Beautifully timed from Tom Abel once again. Kept the fielder interested until the very last minute. It was still racing up the hill and had enough on it to go to the rope.
Fast outfield, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I always think that must be the most satisfying for the batsman when they keep the fielders interested until the end. Mills looking to hit back, comes in and bowls to Abel. Abel this time guides it towards the man at close in on the offside. And there's no run. Tom Alsop at backward point. John Simpson with the gloves claps his hands, adjusts his cap. Meanwhile Tom Abel waits for Tamal Mills, who's at his mark. Begins his run up now. He's up to the wicket, he bowls, it's short outside the off stump and just guided down towards deep backward point for a single for Abel. 18 for him from 14, and Somerset to 129 for 2, and they are chasing 167, don't forget.
Surrey have beaten Kent, Glamorgan have beaten Essex, Hampshire are about to beat Gloucestershire. They have, yes, they need 3 more runs. So Hampshire will keep their place at the top of the South Group table.
Somerset closing in on 3 wins from 3. Tamal Mills trying to prevent that as he comes in and bowls, and this one is driven away beautifully, handsomely by Kohler Cadmore for 4 more. It was fuller for Mills, but Kohler Cadmore had the footwork to kind of drive from a beautiful position in the end.
He's looking a bit more comfortable now, isn't he?
He is, yes. Yeah, he just stepped away a little bit and drove that from a full length through the covers for 4. 9 off this over so far, 2 balls to come. Somerset need 31 now to win, and we've got still 6 overs to bowl after this one as Mills comes in and bowls. Oh, he's bowled him! Chopped on, I think, by Kohler Cadmore.
Yeah, chopped it on, making room for himself to run it down to third man, and succeeded only in running it onto his stumps. But fine innings from Tom Kohler Cadmore. 64 from 43 deliveries.
Oh, that was well. He followed him, Mills, because he was backing away. He followed him, and yeah, you're right that he tried to just guide that down towards third man, but I think possibly half forgetting that he'd made so much room that the natural angle took it onto the stumps. And I mean, he got a good piece of it. And yeah, a very odd dismissal to end what has been a brilliant innings from Tom Kohler Cadmore, and one that will surely, you'd think, set up Somerset for victory, but stranger things have happened.
Yep, they still need 34, and young Thomas Rue is coming in for his second innings. He just got 1 against Surrey, if memory serves.
Yep, 1 from 5 deliveries. Didn't need to bat against Essex.
But he's got the vastly experienced Tom Abel at the other end.
Also the vast experience of Tamal Mills bowling to him.
Yeah, good experience for the youngster.
And a good contest this one. Thomas Rue facing Tamal Mills as the new batsman. Sussex needs 7 wickets as Mills comes in and bowls it short and tried to guide that down, so it can't beat the man at can't beat Alsop at backward point, and there's no run. So at the end of an over with a wicket in it, I mean it's still gone for a few runs, but Somerset are 133 for 3 with 42 balls remaining, and they need what, 34?
34 from 36.
I beg your pardon, 36.
Yeah. Right. James Cole's going to bowl to Tom Abel. It's up to Tom Abel now to take control of this situation. Cole's bowls. Abel cuts this away into the offside. There should just be a single. Harrison Ward quickly onto it.
We've just put the worm up on the, you may be able to see if you're watching the stream, and it's quite interesting is that Somerset are still ahead of Sussex in pretty much all areas, but Sussex's worm, if you like, flattens out in the last few overs when they lost those wickets, so that's where Somerset are winning the game at the moment.
Still need 33, Somerset. Coles to bowl to young Thomas Rue. Rue drives. No, he doesn't. He opens the face and runs it down to short third man. Just needs to get himself going. Coles bowls. And he makes room for himself this time and cuts this away down to third man. And there's a very good stop down there by Harrison Ward. And they come back for 2 runs.
Yeah, briefly, Rue was on his bike a bit quicker than Abel, and they were comfortable in the end for 2.
Always 2 there. 136 for 3. Rue off the mark. Coles bowls, he makes room for himself, drives this away through the offside. Lovely shot from the youngster. That's 4 runs. Made room for himself, went outside the off stump, and beautiful off drive. Oh, the confidence of youth. 140 for 3.
27 required.
That's his highest score in T20 Blast cricket, Thomas Rue. I'm sure there'll be many, many more as this is turned away into the onside for a single. 141 for 3, just 26 more Somerset need.
It's nice, isn't it, when you get your highest score and every run then just keeps adding to it. That's must be a nice feeling.
Oh, he's a tremendous prospect. Coles bowls to Abel, who cuts, and should just be a single.
It's very difficult. I mean, clearly the horse may have bolted by now, but it is very difficult, isn't it, Anthony? As you said earlier about what Sussex do from,
I know,
not just from here, but what they should have done 5, 6, 7 overs ago. What would have been?
I don't know. I mean, Essex faced the same dilemma on Sunday at Chelmsford. All right, they only made 148. Again, Somerset made a really fast start with Smead and Lammonby on that occasion, got well ahead of the rate, and then just knocked it around. And it wasn't really, because if you bring the field in, the batsman will just hit it over the top for boundaries. It's very, very difficult. You know, with a white ball that isn't doing very much on a good batting pitch, there aren't many options open to a captain other than, you know, bowling changes, but there's a limit to what that can achieve.
Well, Tamal Mills is going to bowl his final over. 1 for 31 thus far for the skipper. He now comes in from the Cromwell Road end and bowls. It's outside the off stump and cut away by Abel for a single. Moves him on to 21 and Somerset to 143 for 3. Needing another 24 for victory.
In 5 overs left, less 1 ball.
Mills at the top of his mark. Comes running in now. He's up to the wicket. He bowls short, guided just to the man. Allsop at short third man. No run. Now Mills wandering back. There's a little bit of a Mexican wave going on in the temporary stand, but fizzles out pretty quickly. As Mills now comes in, he's up to the wicket, and a bit of a slower ball which then goes through to the wicket keeper. So a dot. Just 1 from 3 deliveries so far in this over. But Sussex need wickets, they need 7 of them. Because even very tight overs would not put Somerset under enough pressure to force them into mistakes, you feel.
Jamal Mills is really pushing that wide line, but getting it right.
That's all you need to do. But Sussex need to do a lot more at this stage as Mills comes in and bowls, and they go through for a quick single. There's a chance for a run out of the bowler's end, but no. Fairly wild throw from Allsop, which nearly hit Mills rather than the stumps. And they've come through for a single.
He was late setting off there, was Thomas Rue, guilty of ball watching. It was Tom Abel's call, and there was a comfortable single there if he'd gone straight away.
Still came through in the end, 144 for 3. 24 required from 26 deliveries. Mills comes in and bowls, and it's driven out towards the cover boundary, and it's a single for Abel. Moves him on to 22, and Somerset to 145 for 3. 22 runs needed from 25 deliveries. West Indies struggling in that T20 at Chesterley Street. 121 for 6 as Jamal Mills comes steaming in and bowls. Appeal for LBW, not given, and Mills puts his hands on his head, but the umpire is unmoved.
We haven't had an LBW, have we?
No.
Pretty good shout.
Yeah, that looked leg stumpish to me, but Thomas Rue survives. I'll see it on the replay again, slowed down, possibly sliding down, but it's
benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt.
He's only 17. That's cool.
I'm not sure you can get away with that.
Right, Nathan McAndrew then to Tom Abel. He's in and bowls. Abel cuts away, and that could go for... It will be cut off. They'll come back for a second run. 147 for 3, so just 20 more Somerset need. The live stream showing the repeats of the LBW, but I think it probably was just about going down. Probably would have clipped the leg stump. Umpire's call.
Umpire's call. Jamal Mills certainly felt it should have been out.
Abel on to 24. McAndrew bowls, and Abel steers this into the offside. Won't get a run as it's well fielded at backward point.
I'll tell you what, Anthony, a couple of maiden overs and it might get interesting.
Well, I think Somerset can't really lose it from here.
You know there'll be Somerset fans saying,
oh, there will.
You can't say that.
Yeah, they will indeed. What's he doing that? Commentators curse. McAndrew in and bowls. Abel edges this down to third man for 4. Width from McAndrew, asking for trouble with third man up inside the fielding circle, bowling that wide. Outside the off stump. 150 is on the board for Somerset, just 16 more they need.
I think at the end of the day, this is going to be down to Sussex not putting enough runs on the board, is probably what I imagine their camp will say. Of course, full reaction will go up on line and will be available on the radio as well tomorrow.
McAndrew to Abel, who pulls this, and be a single. It's outside the off stump, but it was short, so sat up waiting for the shot. 152 for 3, 15 more Somerset need. We're in the 17th over. So 15 from 20. McAndrew to Thomas Rue, who's on 8. He's in bowls and Rue. Oh my goodness me, that's a huge hit. Thomas Rue. Well, he may be only 17, but he can hit a long ball. That's gone miles. Absolutely miles. That's out of the ground as well, I think. Yeah, new ball, please. I think, what's that? The
about the fourth,
third or fourth. Oh, it's come back. Perhaps it wasn't out of the ground.
A disgruntled neighbour has thrown it from their balcony, I think.
But it was a good hit. Well, he bowled it in the slot, Nathan McAndrew. That was the trouble. 158 for 3, so just 9 more now Somerset need. McAndrew to Rue, goes for the scoop, and is dropped.
No.
He's dropped.
Oh, he has dropped it, has he? I thought he caught it.
Well, he had it in his hand. I'm not sure who it is.
I think it must have come out as he hit the ground.
It did, yeah.
Because the ball ended up quite far away
going
from him.
Going for the
end.
ramp and brilliant attempt.
Did he even make the?
It's the skipper, Timar Mills.
Did he even make? I'm not sure. It's difficult to tell from that camera angle that we've got. Yeah, it was in.
Yeah, he got 2 hands to it.
And then it was out again.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Well, Thomas Rue survives. He'll keep the strike. He's on 15. Somerset need just 8 more.
8 to win then for Somerset from 18 deliveries. So shouldn't be too difficult from here, you would feel. Thomas Rue playing a real nap hand at 15 off 11. And this time he attempts a sweep, but it's down the leg side off the bowling of James Coles, who's come on. And that's be a wide, so that will edge Somerset 1 closer to their target, 7 to win. Coles bowls, and he fiddles that up towards the long on boundary. They thought about a second, but then turned it down. So Rue moves on to 16. He's improving that T20 average, Anthony.
He is.
Bit by bit.
He is. He's not been 100% convincing, but
Coles to Abel now. That's shorter, and Abel is able to work that through mid-wicket. They are going to come back for a second.
But he'll remember that 6 for a very long time, I think.
Yes, he will.
The first 6 he's hit in T20 Blast cricket.
So will those neighbours, I'll tell you that much. As Coles comes into bowl, driven, beats the infield, but will be collected. And it's just a single. 164, 3 runs remaining, and I tell you what, Anthony, I'm going to let you take it from here so that you can call Somerset home to their 3rd victory in a row this season.
James Coles then bowling to Thomas Rue, who steers that into the offside, looking for a single, but it's not there. James Rue on 16, Tom Abel on 32. Tom Abel's been calmness and precision personified. This is driven nicely by Thomas Rue up to long off, 165 for 3. Just 2 more Somerset need for their 3rd consecutive win in this season's Vitality Blast and their 6th consecutive win in all formats. It's Coles to Abel, 2 runs are needed. Abel lofts this over the top. It's out towards the extra cover boundary. That's the winning hit. And Tom Abel finishes on 36. Somerset finish on 169 for 3, and they have beaten Sussex by 7 wickets with 2 overs in hand and a fine performance. I think credit obviously to Tom Kohler-Cadmore for that explosive innings of his, but credit as well to the bowlers for keeping Sussex down to just 166 in their 20 overs. Superb from Craig Overton and Matt Henry. Some brilliant fielding as well. A wonderful catch from Will Smead. But in the end, a pretty comfortable win for Somerset, and they stay right in touch with the leaders at the top of the South Group of this season's Vitality Blast.
Yes, indeed, Anthony. Convincing victory for Somerset. And just to wrap up the proceedings that we've seen here tonight, Sussex 166 for 8, John Simpson top scoring with a half century, but no other real support from the batters around him. And then really the Somerset reply anchored by that brilliant innings from Tom Kohler-Cadmore. Some fantastic hitting from around him as well. That's the key part to that. Yes, so a fantastic victory for Somerset. Sussex falling to their first defeat of the campaign. These two sides will hope to be there or thereabouts at the top of the South Group when it all wraps up and we head towards finals day in September.
Well, let's hope so. Somerset next up against Middlesex on Thursday evening, and they'll be looking to continue their winning run, possibly with Tom Banton and James Roux back in the side. But even without those two, this is a formidable Somerset combination.
Well, thank you very much to Anthony Gibson from BBC Radio Somerset. Myself, Andrew Raven, BBC Radio Sussex, signing off now. Thanks a lot for listening. Sussex are back in action on Sunday with a double header at Hove, so get down to the ground for that. That should be fantastic against Glamorgan. The women in action from 12 o'clock and the men playing later on in the afternoon after that one. So get down for the double header. Both games, both teams need your support on that one, so please do turn up for that one. Plenty of fun and games going on the ground as well between matches. So yeah, looking forward to that one. I shall be there taking you through that one if you can't make it, but from myself and the rest of the BBC team here tonight, it's bye for now.